Everyone has an opinion.
Best double play combo.
Best athlete.
Hitter I least like facing.
What do you think?
Opinions?
And just like us, no two big leaguers think alike.
It's Albert Pujols.
Miguel Cabrera. A young guy called Michael Trout.
The subject could be baseball,
His stuff it's electric.
everyday life,
I like the Gettysburg Address.
most anything.
That's not even a question. High Sox.
Players even like to share their views when they get thrown a curve.
Who came up with that question?
Well, with all these opinions, we came up with an idea on how to sort it all out.
So y'all like gonna take a poll and see who won it?
Welcome to MLB Player Poll, presented by Blockbuster.
That's cool right there.
The greatest year-end honor that a pitcher can receive is to win the Cy Young Award, a distinction that dates back to 1956. But when you're only at the midway point of the season, as we are right now, the top tribute just might be getting the starting nod for the All-Star Game. Hi, everyone. My name is Greg Amsinger. No one has a better gauge on who deserves to start the Midsummer Classic than the men who play with and against these masters on the mound. So with the All-Star Game approaching, we asked the players to tell us which pitcher they would choose to get the start in this year's game. We begin with a young man who in just his second season did not lose his first game of the year until July. A lefty lying in wait like a snake in the grass to take the bite out of hitters' bats.
Is it Corbin on Arizona?
Patrick Corbin, the 23-year-old southpaw from Clay, New York.
The one thing that I've noticed about him is he's not afraid to attack the zone.
Strike three call, got him looking.
He's not afraid to go in and out to pretty much any hitter that comes up to bat.
Strike three called. Fastball over the inside corner.
Throws in, he throws down, he has a great put-away pitch.
Welcome to the slider. Disappeared on him.
He kind of has a weird wrist cock that they can't pick up the spin until late.
We've seen some funny-looking swings against Patrick Corbin on that slider.
His slider's devastating. I think Todd Helton said it was the best slider he'd ever seen.
He thinks Patrick Corbin has the best slider in the game right now.
But his fastball is his big success pitch. When he pitches with his fastball, it makes his slider and his changeup that much better.
He had to be looking for a slider there because it was a good fastball, but right down the center of the plate. Got him.
He mixes up the speeds a lot well and just doesn't rely on one pitch.
When you've got that sharp breaking ball and then you can bust in at 93, that's pretty good stuff.
Corbin's stuff enabled him to secure double-digit victories by the All-Star break, and his peers seem to think that it's time that others took notice.
Patrick Corbin deserves as much recognition as anybody, the way he's thrown.
That's nasty.
That's pitching like an all-star.
It was really nice to see a young kid, that caliber of pitching, to go out there and pitch and just grind and try to give a team a chance to win.
And Patrick Corbin wins his 10th of the year.
Who would you pick to be the starting pitcher for the All-Star Game this year?
Probably Yu Darvish.
Glad to have you along as Yu Darvish looks to be perfect the whole way.
Fact is, Darvish was almost perfect in his very first start of the season.
His 14th strikeout today.
You allowed one hit in 8 2/3 innings. Just the beginning of his all-star caliber year.
You look at his numbers, they're ridiculous. 114 innings and giving up 78 hits and struck out 151, which leads all of baseball.
He's got nasty stuff. The guy's got 86 pitches.
Along with a four-seamer, a split finger, a changeup, a curveball, and a devastating slider.
He locates, he mixes it up well.
He's really mixing his pitches.
He can pretty much paint, both sides of corners, up, down.
Strike three.
His delivery changes every time. He either has a higher leg kick, he pauses a little bit.
Slowly set and delivers. Backdoor slider, strike three call.
He just makes it look so easy out there, and then he flips that 20-mile-an-hour curveball up there.
Want to strike the last guy out throwing that curveball.
It's unbelievable, but the guy is very talented.
Yu's chance to start the All-Star Game was lost when he recently went on the disabled list. But few would have argued had he gotten the nod.
Anytime you have a starting pitcher like that with that repertoire, it makes it interesting. So I'd like to see him pitch against the National League All-Stars.
And the payoff pitch, struck him out swinging.
MLB Player Poll is brought to you by Blockbuster.
MLB 13 The Show is now available on PS3 at your local Blockbuster stores or at Blockbuster.com. Rated E for everyone.
Vote for me.
Vote for me.
Vota por mí.
Vote for me.
Vote for me.
Each athlete got the opportunity to make a video to ask for votes.
Every time you vote for me, boom, instant McCutcheon.
You were trying to appeal to all the different voters.
And I'll teach you how to properly care for the World Series trophy.
We thought it'd be really cool to let the fans decide where you could vote, either through Twitter or Facebook. It really blew up.
The choice is up to you.
Fans in Pittsburgh said, we're going to win this. When I'm on that cover, I look at it as all of them being on the cover. Be able to see the game cover, be able to play the video game. It was an honor just to be in the mix of the guys to be on the cover, and then to win it on top of that is great.
Get MLB 13 The Show and hundreds of other games on PS3, Xbox 360, Wii, and Wii U at your local Blockbuster stores or at Blockbuster.com today.
Take care of your engine and it'll go far. One way I take care of my engine is with 1-A Men's, a complete multivitamin with nutrients to help support heart health. Compared to Centrum Men's, it has more vitamin D, help support healthy blood pressure.
1-A Men's.
So I told my team at Taco Bell I want to make a double steak quesadilla. I said, give me some real pepper jack cheese and give me double the marinated steak, or else, why bother? I told them that you will love it, so will you, and all of you. They did seem a little nervous. Probably because I doubled the steak.
The new Taco Bell Cantina Double Steak Quesadilla, loaded with double the marinated steak and real pepper jack cheese. Double the steak, double the gourmet.
I took something for my sinuses, but I still have this cough.
A lot of sinus products don't treat cough.
They don't?
Nope, but Alka-Seltzer Plus Severe Sinus does. It treats your worst sinus symptoms plus that annoying cough.
Oh, what a relief it is.
This fall, if your dad asks to move in, how can you say no?
No.
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 No. Oh, no.
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 I'm gonna randomly text my dad the word no right now. Dads, a new comedy coming Tuesdays this fall.
Did you text me the word no the other day?
To Fox.
We now return to MLB Player Poll. Fans got a rare sneak peek into the future at the 1939 All-Star Game at Yankee Stadium when Cincinnati's Paul Derringer started for the National League against the Yankees' Red Roughing. That's because almost 3 months later, they were also the starting pitchers in Game 1 of the '39 World Series, which, yes, took place at Yankee Stadium. It's the only time in baseball history that the All-Star Game starters opened that year's World Series, too. Our next pitcher certainly has a shot at playing in this year's Fall Classic, but for now, he'll have to settle for being one of the picks in this week's poll.
Ooh, in the AL, I will go with Max Scherzer.
Maxwell off to an outstanding start this year. He has not lost a game.
Max Scherzer's really kind of opening some eyes, I think, with his start. It's tough to go wrong with him.
Max Scherzer will become the first Tiger in history to start a season 11-0.
Swing and a miss. He got him.
12-0 with an ERA just over 3.
Got him, strike 3 in the outside corner.
Max Scherzer improves to 13-0.
Just seeing what Max Scherzer's done so far, you know, it's pretty incredible. It's very fun to watch.
Scherzer right now, the talk of baseball.
Like his fellow ace Justin Verlander, Max can power his way past frustrated hitters.
Everybody's striking out, and I see all type of 10, 11 Ks on the board. I'm like, golly, he struck out 10 people every game. You know, that's hard to do.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out in 97.
He has recorded at least 6 strikeouts in all of his 17 starts this year.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Scherzer has done what he's done all year in this game, and that's throw nothing but strikes.
Max has the second most strikeouts in the American League and the most wins. He doesn't like to lose, so he doesn't.
The best pitcher in the American League, Max Scherzer.
When you're picked to start the Midsummer Classic, you can only hope that you'll justify the choice with an all-star performance. And few have been as explosive in that regard as Randy Johnson. In 4 all-star starts, the big unit threw 7 innings, allowed 2 hits, no runs, and struck out 9. Johnson didn't make his first all-star start until he was 31 years old. If the next pitcher on our list does get the starting nod this year, he'll be just 25. So unlike the big unit, this southpaw's dominance has come early in his career.
Clayton Kershaw, he's the best pitcher in the NL. Just nasty stuff.
Clayton Kershaw, because he's probably the best pitcher in the major leagues right now. Clayton Kershaw's a guy who he makes hitters look stupid, so he'd be my pick.
Absolutely frozen as this kid broke off that curve.
It's never fun to face him. I mean, his slider is just devastating.
Swung on and missed strike 3 on a slider.
Knows how to spot his fastball. Has 4 pitch pitch mix and commands all of it.
The 3-2 pitch is swung on and missed.
We're not real lucky that we have to watch him a lot, but when we do, it's a treat to get to watch him and see how he approaches hitters.
He just comes right after you. 3 pitches and you're out.
Clayton competes. He flat out competes. He gets on that mound. He wants that ball. You can tell.
Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Kadire is out.
He doesn't want to give the game to anybody else. He wants to go out there and finish it. And you put that mentality with the stuff that he has, and you've got a very special talent out there on the mound that you want as your franchise pitcher.
Kershaw entered his final first-half start, 3rd in innings and 1st in ERA. When it comes to all-star starting candidates, that's a mighty strong case.
He's the one true ace in the National League, and I think he definitely deserves to have that honor.
The fact that Kershaw is a southpaw means he'd have fit right in as an all-star starter back in the 30s. That's because from 1933 through 38, a lefty started every all-star game for the American League. And I do mean lefty. Lefty Gomez was the starter for 5 of those games, and Lefty Grove took the mound for the other. So if you're scoring at home, that's 6 straight years when someone named Lefty was the American League starter. We're still waiting for someone named Righty to get the call, but don't hold your breath on that. Well, the only thing better than being named an all-star is to have a bobblehead given away in your honor. So we asked our voters to tell us which player's bobblehead day or night they would most like to attend. And we've got the answers in our blockbuster Best on the Block ballot.
What player's bobblehead night?
Would I want to attend Yu Darvish because he has the biggest head I've ever seen in my life, so I'd love to see that bobblehead.
Yu Darvish bobblehead. What do you think about this little guy?
It's cool.
I'm pretty sure Mike Trout is going to have a bobblehead day this year.
Fans in attendance will receive a Mike Trout bobblehead.
If you got to choose what your bobblehead looked like, would this be it?
Definitely be that.
I know we got this year Hanley Ramirez, the hand gestures to the eyes.
Hanley Ramirez bobblehead giving you one of those I see you looks.
Babe Ruth, probably. If you watch some of his old videos, he kind of looks like a bobblehead.
The Big Hurt, Frank Thomas. He was my favorite player growing up, and I'd love to be at his bobblehead night.
It'd have to be Steve Swisher, my father. I would have loved to have gone back and seen him play, maybe had a bobblehead type action day.
You know, the Bochy one is really good because his head's above average size, and I saw his last bobblehead, and it is not even close. I mean, the head needs to be way bigger. No offense.
They have a Cocoa Crisp Burning Lean bobblehead.
Cocoa Crisp Burning Lean bobblehead day.
The bobblehead dances, so I would like to get one of those for sure.
Well, the answers we received represent a century of baseball, thanks to Babe. But it's a current Yankee whose bobble heads the list.
Not too many people get that, so it's cool just to be able to have a bobblehead of yourself.
Shane being from Hawaii, he's wearing a hula skirt. To have one with my face on it was pretty cool.
MLB Player Poll is brought to you by Cheez-It, because at Cheez-It, real cheese matters.
At Cheez-It, we expect a lot from our cheese.
Surprise!
Did you plan all this?
Pretty mature, huh?
Wow, that is really mature.
Go ahead and blow out the candle.
Oh.
Surprise! I am so good at this.
We take the time for our cheese to mature before we bake it into every delicious cracker. Because at Cheez-It, real cheese matters.
He's a 20 years straight, get to work on time. He's loved one woman for all his life. Everybody knows he ain't just tough, he's strong.
The all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado. Strong for all the roads ahead.
When you have sensitive skin, anything that touches your face can feel like this. Don't let it get to you. Try Mach 3 Sensitive. With 3 high-definition blades, a closer shave, and a single stroke. For less irritation, even on sensitive skin. Get closer to the one you love. Gillette Mach 3 Sensitive. Gillette, the best a man can get.
I play for the team.
I play for the fans.
I play for the all-stars that played before me.
I play for home field advantage.
I play for the perfect play.
I play to become baseball royalty.
I play
to turn the lights out.
I play to be a part of all-star
history.
I play
for the National League.
for the American League.
I play to win.
To win.
We will win.
We will win.
The road to October starts here.
The MLB All-Star Game, July 16th on Fox.
Born to play the game. And can he ever play it?
I'm your new commanding officer, Captain Ray Holt.
Speech.
That was my speech.
Short and sweet.
For these detectives, the most dangerous part of the job
I want to ask Rosa to go to the Rihanna concert with me.
is in the office.
She's got a type, which is really anyone but you.
Yeah, that was my ex-wife's type, too.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, a new comedy, Tuesdays this fall on Fox.
This week's player poll, which pitcher would you choose to start the 2013 All-Star Game, continues.
Well, I'm a little biased. I'm going to go with Adam Wainwright.
One of the best pitchers in the game, Adam Wainwright.
A guy that doesn't settle for second best. That really defines Wainwright. He doesn't want to just be good. He wants to be really good.
Got him! 12 strikeouts as Wainwright goes the distance.
He's a bulldog, and he's the ultimate competitor. He's having a great year.
Adam Wainwright picks up his 12th win.
It's been a renaissance season for Adam following a recuperating 2012 campaign.
Last year I was recovering from Tommy John surgery, and the things I learned when I was struggling last year have really helped propel me to where I am right now.
Try to make my pitching and shooting middle.
He's back to 100% right now, finishing his pitches. The curveball is what it was before, one of the best in the National League.
Oh, it's a hammer. It drops out of the sky.
He's impressive. I mean, you look at that strikeout to walk ratio, nobody's even close to him.
How good is his command? Well, he did not walk a batter in his first 34 2/3 innings to start the season.
Control like that is part of the perfect recipe for an all-star starter. But who exactly does Adam think is casting votes his way?
It's probably guys on my own team that are saying me, but just to be even in the conversation is a tremendous honor.
For him to battle back from Tommy John surgery a couple years ago and to be at his peak form right now, I think he deserved to be the all-star starting pitcher.
What a day for the Cardinal right-hander.
Adam's numbers heading into this year's All-Star Game are awfully good, but he still has a ways to go to match Vida Blue, who took the mound for the American League Stars in 1971, sporting a 17-3 record with a 1.42 ERA and 188 strikeouts. 188! Now, it was obviously a different era of baseball, but one in which Mr. Blue was definitely red hot. Well, it's also been a bit steamy in New York City of late, so let's check in with our ultimate fans at the MLB Fan Cave, where today we find Dodgers fan Aaron Roberts and Travis Miller, who must be very excited about the All-Star experience taking place at Citi Field. Guys, how you doing today?
Hey, Greg. Greg, just chilling at the cave.
We'll talk about the Midsummer Classic in just a second, but first, fill me in on the shenanigans that took place with a pair of Texas Rangers, Travis.
Derek Holland and Justin Grimm were here, and Derek Holland's favorite movie is Dumb and Dumber, and the sequel's coming out, Dumb and Dumber 2, and they were doing their audition for Dumb and Dumber 2. They were high-fiving the pedestrian crossing sign, they were whacking each other with canes. It was a real fun time.
Well, I'm sure people are buzzing about it on social media, which leads me to our tweet of the week. Aaron, what is your favorite tweet?
MLB actually came out with one that I thought was hilarious and awesome. They tweeted a picture of Bryce Harper holding a baby, and they wrote, "This baby now possesses magical powers." Because obviously, when you touch Bryce Harper, you get magical powers.
Obviously, it makes a lot of sense. And Bryce and his magic powers will be in action tonight on Fox. Bryce Harper and the Washington Nationals take on the Miami Marlins. Colorado Rockies in LA to take on the Dodgers. And the Tigers at home to take on the Rangers. Now, obviously, we're getting close to the Midsummer Classic. We cannot wait for it. I want you guys to chime in on who you think should start. Let's go American League. Travis, I'm going to start with you. You give me the American League pitcher that should be starting the Midsummer Classic.
You know what? It's my man on the south side of Chicago, Chris Sale. He's been posting great numbers this season, and the wins may not be there, but what is a win?
Wait. His record is under 500.
Get the man some run support. Get him 5 or 6 runs a game. What would his record be?
Okay, good point. Aaron, who's your guy?
I'm going to go with Hisashi Iwakuma from the Seattle Mariners. The guy has just been absolutely lights out dominant, and he's the #2 guy on that staff.
Not bad for a #2 starter. Keep in mind his own rotation has King Field Felix. But guys, very interesting names, Sale and Iwakuma. Let's see if they show up at all on our social media results. You'll see King Felix coming at number 5. Then it's your guy Kershaw, Adam Wainwright at number 3, and Max Scherzer getting 17% of the vote. Guys, you're going to be at the All-Star game, and Aaron, I'll start with you on this. The one thing you're the most excited about with your All-Star experience coming up?
It has to be the home run derby. I am a home run derby fan. I love watching camaraderie on the field. It's amazing, and I cannot wait to see it.
Take it from me, it's pretty cool. Travis, what about you?
You know what? We all get to bring one guest with us, and I'm bringing my dad because the reason I love baseball, the reason I'm here, the reason I do what I do, it's because of him.
Wow, Aaron, are you like me? Do you feel like the worst son ever now?
I mean, home run derby is not my favorite part. I cannot wait to just experience that with my family.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Aaron, Travis, thanks for hanging out this week. This is a lot of fun, guys. I'll see you in Flushing for the Midsummer Classic, okay?
Thank you, Greg, and you have a good day, buddy.
See you next week.
All right, those two guys are a lot of fun. Next up on MLB Player Poll, we'll find out which pitcher got the most votes as the player's choice to start the 2013 All-Star Game after the break.
MLB Player Poll is sponsored by Scott's, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball.
Take care of your engine and it'll go far. One way I take care of my engine is with 1-A Men's, a complete multivitamin with nutrients to help support heart health. Compared to Centrum Men's, it has more vitamin D, help support healthy blood pressure.
1-A Men's.
3, 2, 1. It's hard to call it radio when it's this out of the box.
Listen to that. Man, you know just what to say.
You might be a redneck.
Fox News alert on several dramatic new developments.
Frank Sinatra.
You're a delightful audience.
Let's go to Margaritaville. To the 10, to the 5. Touchdown.
This is satellite radio. Welcome to Sirius XM.
So I told my team at Taco Bell I want to make a double steak quesadilla. I said, give me some real pepper jack cheese and give me double the marinated steak, or else why bother? I told them that you will love it, so will you, and all of you. They did seem a little nervous. Probably because I doubled the steak.
The new Taco Bell Cantina Double Steak Quesadilla. Loaded with double the marinated steak and real pepper jack cheese. Double the steak, double the gourmet.
I took something for my sinuses, but I still have this cough.
A lot of sinus products don't treat cough.
They don't?
Nope, but Alka-Seltzer Plus Severe Sinus does. It treats your worst sinus symptoms plus that annoying cough.
Oh, what a relief it is.
From the first pitch in the East to the final play out West.
Oh, what a play!
And every amazing moment in between. No one brings you closer to the game than MLB Tonight. MLB Tonight. Go to MLBnetwork.com for schedule and channel number.
I play for the team.
I play for the fans.
I play
To be a part of All-Star history.
I play
For the National League.
for the American League.
I play to win.
We will win.
The road to October starts here.
Tuesday on Fox.
Fox 18's Facebook Friday freebie continues this week with a special treat for you from Steak and Shake. $25 gift cards. Just log on to the Fox 18 Facebook page this Friday to enter. We may choose you as this week's winner. Good luck from your Fox 18.
The science of living together. According to the Big Bang Theory, all roommates must be housebroken.
Emergency.
What kind of emergency?
32-ounce banana smoothie, 16-ounce bladder.
The Big Bang Theory.
Tonight at 6 on Fox 18.
We now return to MLB Player Poll, presented by Blockbuster.
Sometimes the All-Star Game starters provide us with interesting little subplots, like in 1942 and 43, when the Cardinals' Mort Cooper was the National League starter, and the starting catcher was his teammate and brother, Walker Cooper. Incidentally, Mort Cooper certainly deserved the honor, as he led the National League in wins both of those years and was the league MVP in 42. Well, according to the greatest percentage of the players we polled, this year's All-Star Game would also feature a pretty cool story. For with the Classic at Citi Field, they cast a decided vote for the Mets' current phenom to be the one throwing the game's first pitch.
Matt Harvey, the hometown hero, the dominant young right-hander who's been one of the game's great breakthrough stars this year.
swing and a miss, and down he goes.
Harvey from the Mets. Every time I turn on the TV, he's creating buzz and looks like he's got nasty stuff.
And the fastball gets him at 99 miles an hour. Pumped up, you bet.
It's a pleasure to watch this kid.
He's really special, and he's got a good arm on him. He can throw any pitch he wants to in any count, any situation.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Slider swung on and missed. Strike 3, side retired.
Just watching the ball come out of his hand, it's different. It's real smooth, it's real easy.
It's almost like he catapults the ball to home plate.
Excellent mechanics. It's what you'd term easy gas.
Matt Harvey just has unbelievable stuff. Every time he goes out there, you feel like he could do something special.
12 strikeouts for Matt Harvey, 9 shutout innings, only 1 hit allowed.
Harvey has been absolutely magnificent. He might be the starter in the All-Star game at Citi Field, in fact.
And he will be if the greatest percentage of the players we polled have their way. But our voters aren't the only ones who would like for Matt to get that honor.
I think all of baseball would love to see Matt Harvey start that game at Citi Field, the All-Star game.
It would be something pretty special, I think, for New York, for the New York fans.
And the fans have really fallen in love with this guy.
When you have the All-Star game in the Big Apple, what better way to do it than with Matt Harvey starting?
Regardless of how good this year's All-Star starter performs, he probably won't match what is considered to be the most spectacular All-Star performance of all time. It was in 1934 when Carl Hubbell struck out, listen to this, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and Jimmy Fox in succession. 3 men who had combined to hit more than 1,700 home runs in their careers. Hubbell then began the following inning by fanning Al Simmons and Joe Cronin. That's 5 future Hall of Famers Hubbell struck out in a row. Definitely something you would put on the top of your resume. All right, let's see which pitcher the greatest percentage of the fans chose to start the All-Star game. And the fans are in step with the players on this one, as they too would like to see Matt Harvey start the game in his hometown ballpark. Now, there were, of course, other players who received votes in our fan or player polls, but were not in our top 6.
Who's your starter for the All-Star game? Take your pick.
Swing and a miss. Yankees win. Barbera nails it down in the ninth.
Well, that brings this episode of MLB Player Poll to a close. Before we go, however, we'd like to leave you with our exit poll, the topic for our next show, which is, what is the most important skill for an infielder? And we should get quite a few different opinions on this one. Of course, we also want to know what you think, so go to @MLB Fan Cave or find us on Facebook to cast your vote. Then tune in again next week to see the results. That's all for now. I want to thank Aaron and Travis at the Fan Cave for joining us this week. For MLB Player Poll, my name is Greg Amsinger. I'll see you guys at the All-Star game.
MLB Player Poll is sponsored by Blockbuster. Cheese It, because at Cheese It, real cheese matters. Chevy, find new roads. Gillette. Scott's, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. Sirius XM. One a Day Men's. And by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss.
I play for the team.
I play for the fans.
I play
to be a part of All-Star history.
I play
For the National League.
for the American League.
I play to win.
We will win.
The road to October starts here. Tuesday on Fox.
Casey's General Store, a convenience store and a whole lot more.
Join Steve Harvey. Family Feud. Weekdays at 4 on Fox 18.
Nationally renowned business and marketing expert John Bodner is coming to Davenport July 22nd through the 25th to host Making Your Business Click, a digital marketing workshop. Topics include search engine optimization, how to make social media work for you, and how to combine an online advertising strategy with the power of broadcast television. All covered in under 1 hour of your time. These are free seminars, but space is limited, so reserve your seat and time today by calling 563-386-1818.
Dad, where'd you get that?
Oh, you won't believe what just happened.
Don't tell me you got the last Diet Dew.
Yeah.
I love the taste of Diet Dew. What do you want for it? Deal.
Diet Mountain Dew. Yeah, it tastes that good.
Hey, Hotshot. Meter's running.
So what's the plan?
It's my favorite painting, and I want it back. So you in or out?
I'm in.
This is awesome. I got this.
Is her painting anyway?
Now, during the Ford Summer Spectacular, get a blockbuster deal and escape with 0% financing plus $2,000 bonus cash. Now playing at a Ford dealer near you.
Here we go, baby. Wow, look at this. Simply superb. Baby, that's the sound of power. Oh, goodness. The wait is finally over.
The Heartland is once again home to baseball's cream of the crop.
Got him. And right goes the distance.
How about a swing? They are absolutely loaded.
The cards are stacked as a flock of 5 Redbirds are set to flaunt their feathers at the All-Star Game. Tonight on Fox, they take on the Cubs and Matt Garza as trade rumors continue to swirl in the Windy City.
Are you ready for some baseball?
Plus, Hanley Ramirez and the Dodgers are heading into the All-Star break on fire.
This doesn't happen even in Hollywood.
Rejuvenated Big Blue will try to stay hot as they host Cargo and the Rockies. And that's not all. Nelson Cruz and the Rangers ride into Motown, looking to bring Matt Scherzer's perfect season to a screeching halt. Bryce Harper and the Nats try to reel in the Marlins in Miami. And before they host baseball's best, David Wright and the Mets travel to the Steel City to face the blistering Buccos. Just 3 days left until the Midsummer Classic. But we've got an all-star studded lineup tonight on Baseball Night in America.
Welcome to the Fox Baseball Night in America pregame show brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Mas. Coming up tonight in primetime, Carlos Beltran is one of 5 Cardinals headed to the All-Star game. But first things first today, as the first-place Redbirds have a date with rival Chicago at Wrigley Field. Miguel Cabrera will bring obscene first-half numbers to the All-Star game on Tuesday as he looks to run a hitting streak to 15 today with his Tigers hosting Texas. Elsewhere, Colorado All-Star Michael Kadire and the Rockies try to slow down the Dodgers for the second straight day as Los Angeles ace Zach Greinke tries to pitch L.A. back over 500. Elsewhere on the docket, the Bucks have taken 4 in a row against the Mets, and Pedro Alvarez is a big reason why, with 3 home runs and 10 runs batted in 7 games against New York. And finally, 2-time All-Star Bryce Harper with big numbers this year against the Marlins takes aim at young ace Jose Fernandez and the Fish. With that, we welcome you inside MLB Network Studio 3 with Kevin Millar, Hal Reynolds, Matt Vasgersian. Final Saturday before the All-Star break. Everybody's looking forward to Tuesday, but first things first today, Max Scherzer, Kev, trying to become just the 4th pitcher to go 14-0 before the All-Star break.
14-0. Sometimes you have these years, they're just career years. I mean, he has the most run support, 6.2 runs per game, but you're looking at a guy right now that's really learned how to pitch. The game is slowing down. The funny thing, he is like underrated. Has a chance to be 14-0, but you still have Justin Verlander on that team. You still have Miguel Cabrera on that team. You got Big Prince. You don't even hear about Max, but he's got a chance right now to go 14-0. Pretty impressive, and I don't care who you are. He's unbeaten in his last 22 starts.
Keeping his fingers on top of the baseball. You'll hear that a lot from Mitch today. He'll explain that.
Cardinals have been impressive in the first half, and they have 5 All-Stars as a result.
Yeah, and you know, one guy stands out to me, and it's Matt Carpenter. And when you think about All-Stars, you think about struggles that guys have gone through. And, you know, he was a top star athlete at TCU. And on his team, all the players were passing him in college, okay? Something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, junior year, he blows out his arm. And he has Tommy John surgery. Misses his senior year. He's a 5th-year senior, 13th-round draft pick. But the story was he was 245 pounds, overweight, eating hot dogs, drinking beer, doing all that stuff in college. His college coach said, Matt, you got a chance to be a Major League Baseball player. Get serious with your life. Next day, he got a strength coach, a nutritionist, started working out, and now he's the All-Star player.
Now he looks like John Mabry, the assistant hitting coach.
And neither one of them wore batting gloves either. Love that. Games in progress and some finals on this Saturday include Minnesota and the Yankees. In the 7th, Phil Hughes is gotten to by Ryan Doumit.
Yeah, that's that home run that will frustrate you as a pitcher. I feel you, Fuse.
Yeah,
I feel you, Phil and Hughes on that home run.
What about, do you feel him on this Pedro Florimon home run?
Great pronunciation right there, Matty. But yes, I do feel him here. That was a high drive. You know, out most places, but it's the park.
Yanks are 6.5 back in the AL East. Cincinnati and Atlanta. Brian McCann in the 4th. How hot is he? Still the player of the week until the National League names a new one on him.
Remember when Gaddis was playing, everybody said, well, what are they going to do when McCann comes back? Come on, you let McCann play. That's what
Bottom of the 5th, 2 on with Mike Minor helping himself out. Braves take a 3-2 lead, and they win it by a final of 5-2 at home. Toronto and Baltimore in the 2nd, Chris Crash Davis.
Doesn't make sense, guys. 36th home run. This boy right here is a beast. He's a remote stopper now. You better watch him hit.
A remote stopper, I like that. It means you're going to stop your clicker?
Yep, you better stop everything you're doing and watch him hit.
How about Joey Bats? Jose Bautista into the corner, part of a 7-3 Orioles win at Camden Yards this afternoon. Houston and Tampa Bay, Rays down 3-zip, man aboard for Luke Scott, part of a big afternoon for him.
He's starting to get hot. You know, the last couple days really swinging it. Look out for Tampa's second half. They're really starting to play great baseball right now. Yes, the Matador has come home.
He does. He gets rocket ship hot, and when he gets hot, it goes on for about 6 weeks. I'm telling you, he's country strong. And you better watch him. He'll be out for a while.
Part of a 4-3 Rays win to even up that series. A double dip on schedule for Chicago and Philadelphia. Game 1, Alejandro De Aza against Jonathan Pettibone. This will bring in 2 and tie it at 2 apiece. Bottom of the 7th now. Phillies down to run for Darren Ruff with 1 away.
This is a big, strong man. Hit a lot of home runs in Double-A last year. There's a changeup from Danks, and he goes dead central, H. That's when you got pop, when you can go dead center.
3-3 ball game. It's in the bottom half of the 10th. The Phillies among those teams, Kev, trying to figure out what they're doing here as we approach the trading deadline at the end of the month.
They are. You just got Michael Young, you got Pat Bond, you got Cliff Lee. Guys are calling for it, but either you're in or out. This team finishes up strong in the second half. They're only 7 out right now. They win tonight.
I think they got to add. 500. They got to add because they got a chance to get in it.
You guys in for the Fox Funnies?
Yeah.
Let's start it. A little comedy time before we get to baseball, and I'll start in San Diego. Chase Headley. Yep. Hey! Oh, Ron Culpa, second base umpire in the wrong place at the wrong time. Got him right in the derriere.
The Culpa.
Yes, Matty V, I like it. Let's go to the English D right here. Alejandro De Aza, homer. Well, you know what happens? They throw the ball back. The problem is that Torrey Hunter is at home, and usually got to dodge the ball when you're on the road. But look out, T-Hunt. Spider-Man needs to get away. He's like, come on, man, I'm at home.
Look, now talk about throwing at people. Jared Kozar's throwing a no-hitter at this time. How do you break up a no-no? You throw the ball back to him when he's not looking. What in the world is going on? David Price, read his lips. Watch this. What happened? Well, what happened is they threw a ball at him when he wasn't looking. Hey, he finished with a nice win for his debut in the big leagues.
So we got that right there.
Break a guy's concentration like that. That's no fun. Give me the thing you're looking forward to the most at the All-Star game on Tuesday. One player that you're watching.
I want to see Manny Machado. I mean, he does something special every night. No doubt.
Cespedes. We've heard about Puig. Cespedes in the home run derby. I want to see him hit bombs.
That's Monday.
So that's all right. I'll give you a break. It's a part of the festivities. All-Star game coming up on Tuesday right here on Fox. We're going to be with you all day today with game breaks. It's off to the ballpark.
Game's on Fox.
Well, come on now.
Game's on Fox.
All-Stars all over the field. Welcome to baseball night in America.
Now put aside the little fears while you're young.
The MLB All-Star Game, Tuesday on Fox.
There are just 9 of you left.
This, right now, is a huge game-changing advantage. Their fate rests in your hands.
He played to your weaknesses.
Are you done?
MasterChef, all new, part of 2 Hours, Wednesday on Fox.
You get a lot from hard work, like the class exclusive Ram box, active level air suspension, and Torque Flight 8-speed transmission. You also get the best weekend ever. We put everything into our trucks so you can get everything out of them. Experience it all now at the Ram Summer Clearance Event. Get $59.50 in total values on Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab. Plus, trade in your truck and add $2,000 bonus cash.
Summer's here, and that means yard sales. Your Fox 18 presents the Yard Sale Tracker. It's free. It's easy. It's at KLJB.com. Putting together a yard sale and want to get the word out? Our Yard Sale Tracker's here for you. Looking to go yard sailing this weekend but not sure where to go? Map out your day using our Yard Sale Tracker. It's 100% user-generated, so log on to KLJB.com today and get yard sailing. Brought to you by your Fox 18.
St. Louis looks to win for the 7th time in their last 8 tries as the I-55 rivalry continues. Baseball Night in America sends you to Chicago for the Cardinals and Cubs.
It is a great atmosphere in and around Wrigley Field, and they are getting ready for the renewal of this great rivalry, the Chicago Cubs and the St. Louis Cardinals. It's impressive. It's the Cardinals and Cubs tonight, Baseball Night in America, and it's yours on Fox. And now welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck. Tim McCarver and Ken Rosenthal are both coming up. Well, you know the story for the St. Louis Cardinals. They are red hot. They've been hot since the start of the season. They have the best winning percentage in Major League Baseball, and they are in the top spot in the NL Central. Now for the Chicago Cubs, they've already proven that they're going to be sellers here as the trade market is open here in the early part of July. But Tim McCarver, it seems like we're watching a team that is turning the corner and getting better right before our very eyes.
Manager Dale Swaim saying that as far as the Cubs moving the needle, they're doing that. They have more power at third base, more power in right field. But the biggest change in the Cubs this year so far, they're starting pitching.
And that holds tonight as Matt Garza gets the ball. He's 5-1 and has been almost unhittable of late. On the other side, the Cardinals, I mean, you know, it's been good all season long, and you can't just point to one reason why they're winning.
They can burn you from both ends. They've had 11 rookie pitchers. Think about that. 11 rookie pitchers successful this year for the Cardinals, and they can also hit with runners in scoring position. Far and away the best statistic of any major league team.
It's also a ball club that features 5 All-Stars, with the All-Star game right around the corner on Tuesday night in New York at Citi Field. We'll see Beltran tonight. We'll see Alan Craig tonight. And we'll see Matt Carpenter tonight. Good matchup. It's yours. Baseball Night in America. Cards and Cubs next on Fox.
Chances are you're not made of money, so don't overpay for boat insurance. Geico, see how much you could save.
It's the Quicken Loans Bring It Home sweepstakes. Every time Ryan Newman finishes a race in a top 5 position, Quicken Loans will make a mortgage payment for 5 lucky winners. Quicken Loans, engineered to amaze.
Summer barbecue is back at Burger King with the Memphis Barbecue Pulled Pork Sandwich. Delicious tender pulled pork with hickory smoked barbecue sauce. And right now, enjoy the Memphis Barbecue Pulled Pork Combo Meal with small fries and a drink for just $4.99. Burger King, where taste is king.
I want to make things more secure.
I want to treat more dogs.
Our business needs more cases.
Where do you want to take your business?
I need help selling art.
From broadband to web hosting to mobile apps, Small Business Solutions from AT&T have the security you need to get you there. Call us. We can show you how AT&T Solutions can help you do what you do even better.
Hey, Marie.
Hey, Rod.
How do you get your lawn to stay, I don't know, green?
Paint. I'm kidding. Follow me.
Rodman, how you doing?
Hey, Jimmy.
First off, make sure you're not cutting the grass too short. It doesn't let the roots grow.
Okay.
Hot Rod, what's up?
Nicole.
We also need fertilizer with weed control during this time of year.
No Rod, Father.
Hey, Tom.
I'm gonna grab you a spreader.
Okay. Hey, Rod. Stir.
He's new.
Oh.
Getting help at Ace is like going to your neighbor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I play for the team.
I play for the fans.
And the city that adopted me.
I play for home field advantage.
I play for the perfect play.
I play to become baseball royalty.
I play
to turn the lights out.
I play to be a part
of all-star history.
I play for the National League.
For the American League.
I play to win.
To win.
We will win. We will win. The road to October starts here.
The MLB All-Star Game, Tuesday, only on Fox. There is no place I'd rather be. There's nobody I'd rather sit next to than Tim McCarver. Wrigley Field, Chicago, 75-degree day. Partly cloudy. The wind is kind of blowing in from left center field, and you just can't find a better picture in all of sports, in my judgment, than this ballpark when it's packed. They're standing room only. Matt Garza will get the ball tonight, and that's his little pregame fist bump with Chris Bosio, his pitching coach, before he takes on the Cardinals and further enhances his trade value. The opening pitch brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. How you doing over there, Tim?
Perfect.
How'd you like to play in this park, Tim, back in the day?
I liked it a lot. A lot.
There's a lot to like about not just playing here, but life here, the hotel, the nightlife, the roll into the ballpark, and then you got your nights free.
The best.
I wish you guys could see his face right now with a wry little smile creeping into the corner of his mouth.
The best.
Somebody tell Matt Garza we're ready to play baseball. Or don't, and we can just sit here and talk. We'll take your calls, questions, and comments at 1-800-FOX-SPORTS. Starting lineup brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Cardinals have Matt Carpenter, all-star. Daniel Descalso at shortstop, playing for Pete Kozma, who is struggling with the bat. He's batting second. Carlos Beltran, all-star. Alan Craig, all-star. Matt Adams is one of their young sluggers. He's at first. David Freese at third. John Jay in center. Tony Cruz does the catching, and Lance Lynn is on the mound and batting in the number 9 spot. And Matt Garza is getting ready to take the field. Now, Matt is 5-1, a 3.22 ERA, but 4-0 and an ERA under 1 over his last 5 starts. And he said it's 50-50. He re-ups here with the Cubs. The Cubs don't want to talk about it publicly, but he likely is on the block, ready to go to a contender in the second half.
Well, that's what pitchers do when they show up here at Wrigley Field. They check the flags, and the wind is blowing straight in from center field.
There are the numbers this season. Problem for Matt has been health. He's been here for 3 years. He's been on the DL all 3 years. In 2011, had an elbow contusion. 2012, a stress reaction in his right elbow. And this year, trying to work his way back, he missed the first 7 weeks because of a lat injury. And here is your scouting report that you put together this morning.
Well, that first point, the Cardinals are well aware of Matt Garza's inability at times to simply throw the ball to first base on comebackers to the mound. He is a top-tier right-hander, much desired from a lot of ball clubs, and and it could be his last start for the Cubs. Maybe.
We'll see how he gets along here against this Cardinal lineup, which will check in with a top average collectively in the National League. Kenny Rosenthal is with us, and we're glad for that. Always glad when Kenny's with us. And there he is in his bow tie. I was going to talk to you about Garza, but let's talk about the bow tie first, because this is a cause near and dear to my heart, juvenile diabetes research.
Absolutely. This one is for the JDRF, and it's in memory of Ron Santo, the former Cubs great, who of course had type 1 diabetes and struggled with it throughout his career. He told me some amazing stories, Joe, about how he would play virtually blacking out. So this one's for him.
Yeah, well, and a perfect time to wear it here at Wrigley Field. The beloved Ron Santo, and I'm thinking of a kid in St. Louis, Max Rowe, who has dealt with juvenile diabetes and done a lot to help research for that very tough disease to deal with. Matt Carpenter will lead it off. So now, Kenny, I'll talk to you. What is the trade market, in your opinion, for Matt Garza? Because there are some scouts that when you talk to them, they'll tell you his stuff is better than Ricky Nolasco, who just recently went to the Dodgers.
Joe, there is little question about that. And in Garza's last start, he averaged 93.6 miles per hour. That was a season high for him. His stock right now is as high as it could be. And remember, he is not scheduled to pitch again until the Monday after the All-Star break. So between now and then, there stands a very good chance that the Cubs will move him.
Any ideas of where that may be?
Well, there are any number of contenders interested. The Rangers are one. Nearly traded for him last year before he got hurt. The Dodgers might not be done. The Red Sox, the Nationals. You can look at any contender, and they virtually are all going to be represented probably here today with scouts.
Yep, everybody needs pitching. So here we go. It's Matt Carpenter, Daniel Descalso, and Carlos Beltran. The Cardinals that have the best winning percentage in all of baseball at 56-35, but they are only a game better than the Pittsburgh Pirates in the NL Central.
Cannot shake the Buccos.
And we do not see a second half collapse like they've suffered the last 2 years coming for Pittsburgh.
Not with their pitching.
Off we go on a Saturday night. Carpenter shows bunt, takes a strike. Matt Carpenter has gone from a utility player, and that may be a bad label, but it's accurate because he would play third base, he'd play first base, he'd play the outfield, to an all-star second baseman as he takes ball one down and away. And Tim, on top of that, a leadoff hitter, which nobody saw coming a year ago.
No, not a lot of speed. That's typical with most leadoff hitters. But can he ever hit?
On the inside corner. Good zip from Garza in the count 1-2.
And it doesn't matter how many strikes he has. In fact, Matt Carpenter has more hits with 2 strikes than any other major leaguer this year so far.
So he's comfortable at the plate with a 1-2 count. Trying to get on to start the night for the Cardinals. He takes down and in 2-2. Home plate umpire tonight is the crew chief Wally Bell. He's joined by Alfonso Marquez at first, Dan Bellino, who got into it with the Cardinals, and manager Mike Matheny 2 nights ago, and Mike DeMuro at third base. Garza is taking his own sweet time. The 2-2 pitch. A little bit low and a full count. One thing you can say about Garza, and he proved it with the Tampa Bay Rays, he likes the spotlight. And he likes postseason, and he is a postseason tested pitcher that does not melt. As here's a one-hopper hit to Barney. He's about as good as there is in the game. 1 out. But just to finish on Garza, he did it with the Rays. When everybody's watching, he can be at his best. Here are the 4 keys to the game on a Saturday night.
Well, from a Cardinals standpoint, just keep running on all cylinders. They've done that over the first close to 90 games. And from a Cubs standpoint, keep your starting pitching strong. And we say that with yours and Ken's conversation about perhaps getting rid of Matt Garza. Tough to do.
Descalso is the shortstop more times than not of late, with Pete Kozma, the typical shortstop, struggling through an 0 for 26 stretch. Descalso takes a strike.
It won't be too warm in the back.
And now a ball. Cubs come in at 41-50, but they've won 5 of their last 8 and 10 of their last 16, and they're starting to find better roles for guys in the bullpen, and this team is starting to round into shape. That's Rizzo. From the sunlight to the shade, 2 out. And we might as well show you the rest of the NL Central. Cincinnati, they have hit the skids of late. They're still 10 over 500, but they're 5.5 out. And they lost in Atlanta earlier today, 5-2. So here's Beltran. Carlos with 353 career home runs and an all-star for the 8th time in his career. Former Rookie of the Year. Kansas City Royals, Houston Astros, New York Mets, San Francisco Giants, St. Louis Cardinals. Takes a ball. If this is Garza's last start as a Cub, he is making it last. Here is a foul backing out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Most career home runs for switch hitters all time. There's the great Mickey Mantle, Eddie Murray, Chipper Jones, Lance Berkman, and Beltran is closing in on Lance, his former teammate, just 13 behind him. That's strike 2.
I think that's the toughest pitch to put in play of all of the situations. A right-hander to a right-hander, right-hander to a left-hander, that ball up and away to left-handed batters. It's the most difficult spot for a left-handed batter. Almost always they're going right back up there. That's good policy by Navarro, the catcher.
These two have been very good together, Deoner Navarro and Matt Garza, and there are some who speculate that if Garza goes, as you see for Navarro calling it for it upstairs, Navarro could go with him. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You might say, well, if the pitch up and away in the strike zone to a left-hander from a right-handed pitcher is such a good location, why don't you go to it more often? It's a tough pitch to be called a strike. That's why pitchers don't like to pitch there.
On 2-2, Beltran flies one into shallow center. Coming to get it is Bogusevic, and that'll do it for the Cardinals in the first. Good start for Matt Garza. Down goes St. Louis. 1-2-3. Lynn to the hill, no score.
The little rascal is finally asleep.
Good job.
Thank you. So it's Friday night. You wanna do something?
Like what?
We could watch a movie, or you could just text message your friends for the rest of the night.
I'm not texting.
What are you doing?
Just figuring out our Friday night. I'll go get the popcorn.
Thank you. I love you.
Control your TV and get personalized show recommendations with Watch On the Samsung Galaxy S4.
Smile for Mom. Honey, you are not gonna believe this. I bought Pepsi Next.
What's Pepsi Next?
It's the latest cola from Pepsi. It's got real cola taste, but 60% less sugar.
Real cola taste, 60% less sugar.
Yeah. I know.
It's unbelievable.
But this is the most impressive thing I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Oh, definitely. Let me get the camera. I've never had anything like it. My parents are gonna.
Yeah, they're gonna be so proud.
Pepsi Next. Drink it to believe it.
Are you getting this, honey? It's going viral.
Incredible, jaw-dropping, amazing. This summer, Pacific Rim is Pacific Rim, now playing in Real D 3D and IMAX 3D. Rated PG-13.
He's a 20 years straight, get to work on time. He's loved one woman for all his life. Everybody knows he ain't just tough, he's strong.
The all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado. Strong for all the roads ahead.
At Wrigley. Since 1914, the starting lineup for the Cubs, brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. It's Luis Valbuena leading it off, then Starlin Castro, back-to-back multiple hit games. That's what he's had in the first 2 games of this 4-game set. Anthony Rizzo at first. Alfonso Soriano cleans up. Deoner Navarro, then Brian Bogusevic in center. Dave Sapelt is in right. Darwin Barney at second, and Matt Garza does the pitching, bats 9th, and here is Lance Lynn, who is 11-3. And coming off a win Sunday against the Marlins.
No major league pitcher has won more games since the start of 2012 than Lance Lynn. Dominant versus the Cubs. He's 5-1, an earned run average just over 2, and the National League's biggest winner, as we said, the last year and a half. And see you Tuesday night. One of 5 All-Stars for the Cardinals.
It will be Valbuena to lead off, then Castro, then Rizzo. For the Cubs, who won the first game of this 4-game set 3-zip behind Edwin Jackson, and lost yesterday 3-2. Joe Kelly beat Carlos Villanueva. So 2 good games. Game number 3, bottom of the first, and Valbuena takes a strike. Lynn was the 39th overall selection back in June of 2008, came up in 2011. Spent the final 46 games that season on the disabled list, but then came back as he finds strike 2 to be a big part of the Cardinal bullpen as they won it all in 2011. Took care of his body better over the offseason, lost a bunch of weight, had a real rough spring, and people said, well, he can't pitch at a thinner weight, and he has proven with an 11-3 start that that's not the case.
And on the All-Star team.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Valbuena grounds to Adams. 1 away. Tomorrow is the finale of this 4-game set when Adam Wainwright, with his 12 wins, which ties him for the league lead, takes on Travis Wood, who is the representative for the Cubs, a record of 6-6, but 17 quality starts. Something that you used to hang your hat on back in the 60s. Quality starts, which is the most by a Cub before the break since the great Greg Maddux 25 years ago. And that's a good matchup on Sunday night. Here's Starlin Castro. Strike 1.
Well, if Travis Wood doesn't pitch in the All-Star game, he can hit. 2 home runs, a grand slam this year, and a .265 average. I would think that that is going to be the leading batting average for any National League pitcher on Tuesday night.
Here's David Freese making the play to get Castro 2 out. Well, it used to be, and it used to be not that long ago, they've changed the rule where if you pitched on Sunday, you could be named an All-Star but could not participate in the game, which really made it tight for the managers when they would name a guy and then he was unavailable, and that was kind of a phone call that was made to the acting league manager for that All-Star game. Now that's changed to where if Wood or Wainwright want to pitch, they can go 1 inning or a pitch count of 20. And Wainwright has said that he's more worried about the start on Sunday and not worried about the All-Star game. He's going to go anyway. And the option is there for Wood as well. Here's a line drive into left and a nice catch made by Alan Craig. Predominantly the first baseman for the Cardinals. Matt Holliday is out with a bad hamstring, and Craig made a nice catch, got a good jump, and each side goes in order in the first. Cards and Cubs, a good one. Great matchup, no score.
So what's the plan?
It's my favorite painting, and I want it back.
So you in or out?
I'm in.
This is awesome. I got this.
It's her painting anyway.
Now, during the Ford Summer Spectacular, get a blockbuster deal and escape with $1,000 matching down bonus cash. Now playing at a Ford dealer near you.
From above the world of cars.
I'm just trying to prove that I can do more than what I was built for.
Welcome to the world's fastest sport.
We will have many adventures.
One of these planes is about to fly off and become a champion.
I have fans?
All right, everybody, get your dusty bobbleheads, hats, bumper stickers.
Disney's Planes in 3D August 9th, rated PG.
The world's most craveable burrito with flaming hot Fritos chips, seasoned beef, and warm nacho cheese sauce is back. But not for long. It's Taco Bell's Beefy Crunch Burrito.
Both Tylenol and Bare Back and Body are proven to be effective pain relievers. Tylenol works by blocking pain signals to your brain. Bare Back and Body's dual-action formula includes aspirin, which blocks pain at the site. Try the power of Bare Back and Body.
I was
was earned in Djibouti, Africa, 2004.
Vietnam in 1972.
Fort Benning, Georgia in 1999.
USAA auto insurance is often handed down from generation to generation because it offers a superior level of protection and because USAA's commitment to serve military members, veterans, and their families is without equal. Begin your legacy. Get an auto insurance quote. USAA. We know what it means to serve.
Tonight's telecast, presented by Taco Bell, is sponsored by Ford and their spectacular summer sales event. And by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Talking about living Moss, you gave the Cardinals Moss All-Stars than they actually have. Lance Lynn was an All-Star last year and could very well be an All-Star this year, but to this point, despite the 11-3 record, not on the squad.
Yeah, I jumped the gun there, but assuming with Jeff Locke of the Pittsburgh Pirates electing not to go today, I assume that Lance Lynn would be the one nominated, but that is not official yet.
And there are other guys.
May not be, sure.
There are other guys that on Sunday, like Adam Wainwright or Travis Wood, guys that can say, that's it. I'm not going to participate, I'll go. And so then you need more pitchers because bad things happen when you run out of pitching in an all-star game.
Like ties.
Ties, yes.
That happened in 2002 in Milwaukee. That's not good.
Well, Matt Garza is set to go in the second. It'll be Alan Craig, Matt Adams, and David Freese. If anybody gets on, John Jay. And here's the first to Craig, who made that nice catch in left field to end the first. Strike one.
Alan Craig with 72 RBIs. He is very quickly being known as a guy you shouldn't pitch to with runners in scoring position.
Leading baseball in that category for the second straight year. He grounds one to Barney to his right. One out. Darwin Barney, the second baseman for the Cubs, may not get the notoriety as being one of the best defensive infielders in the game, but he should. He is as good as there is with the glove. He didn't show his arm here, but just watching him during batting practice taking ground balls from one of his coaches, David Bell, he can really get the ball over to first with a lot of heat on it.
He made errors last Sunday and Monday, and prior to that he had gone 74 consecutive games playing errorless ball at second base.
Garza now deals with Adams, who takes a strike over the outside corner. Matt Adams, who had a game-winning pinch hit two-run home run last Saturday in a 5-4 win over Miami. Got a lot of action during interleague play while the Cardinals were on the road and able to use a DH. And now Adams will get work at first base with Matt Holliday out. He pulled his hamstring on Thursday. Talked to Matt, and he thought by Friday, the upcoming Friday after the All-Star break, he'll be fine and ready to go. He's not concerned that it's going to be a long-term issue. Counts 0-2 on Adams, who is hitting .309, 7 home runs, 25 RBIs in limited work, but a guy who just tore up the minor leagues, showing good power. Here's the 0-2. A little floater for a base hit, and the first base runner of the night is Matt Adams on a jam shot over the head of Valbuena at third, 1 on 1 out.
Matt Adams weighs 260 pounds, and generally speaking, for a guy with that type build, you can pitch him inside. You can jam him. He's a power hitter, and most guys who have that much power, and think about it, 260 pounds, he loves that ball away from him.
Here's David Freese, who likes the ball away from him. He has hit only 5 home runs, a .270 average, 29 RBIs, batting with Adams at first, 1 out. And taking a swing at a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, strike one. David Freese, you start to see his name pop up as a potential trade element for the Cardinals because of a guy named Colton Wong, a young second baseman who is in the minor leagues, former first-round draft pick. Matt Carpenter, who is more of a third baseman than a second baseman. You wonder if Freese could be squeezed out as he flies to center, 2 out here in the second.
Well, the Cardinals' depth throughout their minor league system can work against certain guys, even heroes of World Series play like David Freese.
He has been frustrated. Power numbers are not there, and he has had a rough start to the month of July as John Jay stands in. Am I nuts, Ken Rosenthal, or is that a possibility for David Freese and the Cardinals?
You are not nuts at all, Joe. And the great thing about the Cardinals is that they have this kind of depth at virtually every position. So they have these choices. Here's Freese. He's starting to make a bit of money. You could trade him, go younger with Wong, and then move Carpenter in third, like you said, and there you have it.
Well, it remains to be seen what John Mozeliak, the general manager, will do for the Cardinals. You could see him standing pat. You could see him hoping for Joe Kelly to fill that number 5 spot. Chris Carpenter on his way back. Here's a foul ball down the right field line. Or does he use some of these blue chip prospects or some of this pitching that seems to come flooding out of this organization to try and get a more established starter like a Cliff Lee or somebody in that category?
To go back to our opening, the St. Louis Cardinals and Mike Matheny this year have used 11 different rookie pitchers. 11.
Here's a 1-1 upstairs, 2-1.
I mean, there's some organizations that would be fortunate to use 11 starting rookies or guys who are in the bullpen over a decade, much less a year.
Have all, for the most part, come up and, if not been successful, at least been impressive with the kind of stuff they've brought with them. Here's a base hit to center. Off the bat of Jay, and it's 2 on with 2 out, and Tony Cruz coming up. So Jay is on, and Tony Cruz will stand in. He is the backup to Yadier Molina, which, when you're the backup to a guy who plays seemingly every day in every inning, you can get a little rusty on the bench, but he is a very good backup that people around this organization think could be more of a legit big league regular, if not for that guy who could very well be the MVP in the National League if he can stay healthy here in 2013.
Sometimes it's what pitchers don't say about a catcher that speaks volumes. That's what Mike Matheny was saying. You never hear the pitchers saying anything bad about Tony Cruz.
Here's a ground ball, base hit left side. Matt Adams will cruise around third and make it, and the Cardinals score first. Lead 1-0 here in the second on an RBI base hit by Tony Cruz.
Catchers are used to studying pitchers, and Tony Cruz, studying Matt Garza, knew that he threw a fastball on the first pitch to 8 straight hitters. On the 8th one, Cruz drives in the first Cardinal run of the game.
You saw that throw get away from Darwin Barney at second base. It got past Barney, but then hit Dan Bellino, the second base umpire, and that kept it around the bag, or the runners would have advanced to second and third. And now Lance Lynn, who has 2 RBIs on the season, 3 hits, has runners at first and second, 2 out with a run home. And here is that throw that got away from Barney at second base and caught Bellino on the right knee. One ball, no strikes on Lance Lynn, 3 out of 27 at the plate this season. Sticks the bat out, pokes it into center, and Bogusevic is there to end the inning. Cardinals get the first run of the night. 3 hits in the inning, Strand 2. Bottom of the second, 1-0 St. Louis.
You're not a hunter, are you?
anymore. Eternity can be a curse. I can make you mortal. But not healing like before.
X-Men fans rejoice. It's the Wolverine movie you've been waiting for.
Is that all the men you brought?
The Wolverine, rated PG-13, in Real D 3D and large format theaters.
Summer barbecue is back at Burger King with the Memphis Barbecue Pulled Pork Sandwich. Delicious tender pulled pork with hickory smoked barbecue sauce. And right now, enjoy the Memphis Barbecue Pulled Pork Combo Meal with small fries and a drink for just $4.99. Burger King, where taste is king.
Hey, is that a chainsaw carving of a chainsaw?
It's a Craftsman chainsaw. We have all the best brands. Weber, Scotts, Craftsman.
Genius.
It is.
Getting help at Ace is like going to your neighbor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Guys like things foolproof. For getting rid of gray, there's Just for Men Auto Stop. Traditional hair color can overcolor. Auto Stop can't. It stops automatically and preserves the subtle variations in your hair. Just comb in. Your hair looks the way it did before the gray. Foolproof. It's what guys like. Lose the gray with Just for Men Auto Stop. It's foolproof.
Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. We move into the bottom of the second. Here's Alfonso Soriano, who was happy to hear you talk about a home run he hit back in 2001.
Back in 2001, Game 7 against Kurt Schilling. 8th inning, 2 out, 0-2, and he hits a ball off the ground. I remember that so well. And he served notice to Major League pitchers what kind of hitter he was going to be over the next 12 years. He loves that ball down.
I think it's remarkable that he is only 13 home runs shy of 400 in his career.
Yep.
He's 20 stolen bases shy of 300. He's been red hot of late. He takes outside, ball 1. And it wasn't until he was 25 years old in 2001, so 25, when he played his first full year in the big leagues. He started his career in Japan before coming to the Yankees, as he is ahead on the count here, 2-0.
Just had a brilliant career. That put the Yankees ahead 2-1 in that game, and of course that was the famous game won by Luis Gonzalez off Mariano Rivera.
Here's a 2-0. That's into the gap in right center field. That ball will get down on one hop. Beltran gets to it. Soriano has a double to start the second off Lance Lynn. Might be the hottest hitter in the league right now.
Serving notice then and now that he likes the ball down. You let him extend his arms to a ball in the strike zone that's down. He can put the fat part of the bat on the ball.
Ken Rosenthal is down by the dugout, and Kenny, Soriano's been wearing that 8-year, $136 million contract around his neck. It seems like for, well, 6.5 years now. But his teammates really appreciate the kind of pro he is.
They do. And Joe, talking to David DeJesus yesterday, he said that last year with Soriano struggling with that knee problem, he was the first guy in the clubhouse every day in the training room getting himself ready. And what people don't realize is that this guy is a hard worker and that he has had a very successful career here in Chicago through it all. Averaged 28 home runs per season, an OPS above 800. He's been a very good offensive player, and the question now, of course, is will he be traded too?
Yeah, he's got to be at least on that list, as is this guy, Dioner Navarro, who has provided more pop than the Cubs expected. Gets that one off the end of the bat, and the count 1 ball 1 strike. Navarro has hit 8 home runs and is batting .288 as he hits with a runner at second, nobody out. However, not hitting well against right-handed pitching, just .211. Dealing with Lance Lynn. Navarro trying to tie this game. The Cardinals got a run in the top half of this second, and now Lance Lynn and Tony Cruz are having a tough time coming together on the side.
That's part of the homework that Lance Lynn has been doing, even with the left-handed hitter up there. And even though there are no outs, he knows that Soriano, with 10 stolen bases, has stolen third 5 times. So he's more dangerous on second base than he is on first.
Lynn ready with a 1-1. Ground ball base hit through the right side. Soriano will be held and now brought to the plate as Beltran missed it in right. It's a 1-1 game on what should be a base hit and an error on Beltran out in right.
Soriano had been held up by third base coach David Bell, and rightly so, as Beltran overruns the ball. And even though Soriano overran the bag, he starts up again and scores easily without a play.
So it's a base hit, E9, third error for the All-Star Beltran. No RBI for Deoner Navarro. But it's a tie game with a runner at first, nobody out, and Bogusevic at the plate. There's a strike. Got a game break coming up. Brian Bogusevic missed a week with a bad left hamstring. He came back on Thursday. Originally drafted by Houston as a left-handed pitcher, 24th overall back in 2005. Here's a ball that is missed by Tony Cruz, and down to second is Navarro with nobody out.
That looked like a cut fastball that cut too much for Tony Cruz. Ball that should have been handled. But you become, when you're not catching every day, you become a little lethargic behind the plate, and your lateral movement is slower than it normally would be. I think that's what happened to Tony.
It is a pass ball for Tony Cruz.
Should have been.
Runner at second now, nobody out, and a 1-1 pitch. Bogusevic takes outside. Well, if you're wondering why Yadier Molina is not in the game, Molina missed last Saturday and Sunday. Then the Cardinals had an off day on Monday with inflammation in his right knee. Here's a 2-1. Ground ball to the right of Carpenter, makes a nice play over to third. 1 out is Navarro, and we will give you the game break. Here's Matt Vasgersian at the MLB Network studios.
Joe, White Sox and Phillies were rained out yesterday. First of 2 today. Top of the 11th, Alexi Ramirez doubles in the go-ahead run. Chicago denies Philly getting back to 500 for the first time in over a month. Joe, back to you and Tim.
All right, Matt, thank you. And the Phillies started the day 7 out in the NL East. Here is Seppelt, who is batting with a runner at third and 1 out. The Cardinals bring the infield in a 1-1 game.
Only the second inning, but you have the bottom of the order. That's what dictates whether you bring the infield in or not.
Here's a ground ball, base hit into center, and the Cubs take the lead. Past the drawn-in infield, and it's a 2-1 Chicago lead. RBI number 4 for Seppelt as he bounced one back up the middle.
Well, maybe if Descalso is back on the play, maybe he has a play on Seppelt. The run would certainly have scored, but I think it's worth the chance for Matheny to take, again, because you have the bottom of the order up with the thinking that with 1 out, the chances of them scoring multi-runs are remote.
So the pass ball figures in. The Cubs have the lead, and now a check on the runner at first. And just to finish with Molina, so he's got inflammation in his right knee, and his manager Mike Matheny has said we have got to be smart about how we use Yadier Molina in the second half of the season. To me, he had operated on back in 2007. There's a strike. Batter is Darwin Barney, who is hitting just .211. Molina's hitting .335 and leading the National League in hitting. 5-time All-Star. And on the bench today on his 31st birthday as Barney takes outside a ball and a strike.
Now this situation just screams for a hit and run with your 8th place hitter, only 1 out. Pitcher up next.
Here's a 1-1. Down and away, 2-1. Standing room only crowd here at Wrigley Field. Game 3 of a 4-game set. The Cardinals got a run in the top half, and the Cubs have 2 in the bottom half of the second.
Not only in the park, but across the street.
That's right. Here's a 2-1. Too far inside. 3 balls and a strike. And that is on a rooftop out in left center field. Three balls and a strike, and the next from Lynn with a runner going. Freese has to back up. And now they're going to say catcher interference as they're going to give Barney first base. Catcher's interference, and this has been a rough inning for Tony Cruz.
Yeah, it really has. The pass ball, even though at the top of the inning on 1 pitch, he drove in the first run of the ball game. But he had a pass ball, and now standing too close to Darwin Barney, he hits the back of the glove, and it looked like it may have made contact with Tony Cruz's left hand also. So it's an error on the catcher. And you're right, a very tough inning for Tony Cruz thus far.
And just to repeat what you said, what Mike Matheny, the manager of the Cardinals, said before the game, you just don't hear guys talking about Tony Cruz in a good way after he catches a game because he's been so good, but this has been a rough inning.
Yeah.
Now Matt Garza with runners at first and second, and only 1 out. So 2 errors in the inning and a pass ball. Garza up there to bunt, pops it over the head of Lynn, and everybody moves up.
With second baseman Matt Carpenter covering first base, sometimes a pitcher inadvertently bunts it where nobody is.
It's a base hit for Garza, his 4th hit of the season. And that brings Derek Lilliquist, the pitching coach, out to try and, I'm sure in some way, calm down Lance Lynn, because he looks like a frustrated pitcher out there right now.
Over the head of Lynn, Adams is charging. The second baseman Matt Carpenter was covering first. And even though Daniel Descalso comes up with the ball, there's nobody at first base.
And now Luis Valbuena, who has only been a .212 hitter with runners in scoring position, stands in, bases loaded, 1 out. The Cardinals started this game with the fewest errors committed in the league at 40. With 2 errors and a pass ball here in the second. And Valbuena trying to come up with something big here for the Cubs. Strike 1. 27 RBIs, 7 home runs. Waiting for the 0-1. Strike 2.
Dale Swaim, the manager of the Cubs, making a point before the game that we are very proud that we're getting production out of that third base position. 14 home runs this year, 18 home runs from right field.
Here's the 0-2. Ball one. Lynn has not struck anybody out. Is looking for that first one here in the second with Castro on deck. Here's a 1-2. A strikeout for out number 2. And Valbuena struggles with runners in scoring position continue. Let's go back to the catcher's interference and listen to sounds of the game with home plate umpire Wally Bell.
Interference here. Time's out. He gets first base. Interference. He gets first and second.
So there you go. The crew chief called it immediately. And now this inning is up to Starlin Castro. The Cubs lead 2-1. There's a strike. Castro's hit 6 home runs and is batting .240, grounded out to third his first time up. And now Castro hops out.
Excuse me, Joe. The one thing about Starlin Castro is he's not comfortable with the strike zone yet. He's only walked 15 times in 399 plate appearances this year. So what you try to do if you get ahead is play to that he doesn't know the strike zone. Try to get him out with balls and not strikes.
Cubs are shocked that his average is down around .240, even though he's had back-to-back multiple hit games in this series. He came into this season as a .297 career hitter and a 2-time All-Star. He waits for a 1-1. That's a slow roller that will go for a base hit. It's 3-1. Sapelt scores to make it 3-1, and the frustration continues for the Cardinal right-hander Lance Lynn.
How about this inning? With first and second, first the bunt by Garza. Over the head of Lynn, nobody's there. And now a swinging bunt with the bases loaded, and nobody's there. Good fortune for the Cubs in this inning.
Now it's Anthony Rizzo who could turn this into a huge second inning for Chicago. Ball one inside. Ninth man to bat in the inning. It started with a double, leading off by Soriano. That is out of play left side, a ball and a strike.
It may sound trite, but Wee Willie Keeler sang years and years ago, hit them where they ain't. The Cubs have done that in this inning. 2 hits have been where Cardinals ain't.
3 runs in the inning on 5 hits, 2 errors, and a pass ball. And Dale Swaim is loving every minute of it as his team is turning things around here on the north side of Chicago. 1-1 is a fastball by the bat of Rizzo, and the count 1-2. Rizzo had a rough June. Hit just .231, 2 home runs. Bases loaded, 2 out, and that's foul. And in this ballpark, seemingly more than any other across baseball, foul balls get into the crowd more dangerously and faster than any park because the seats are just so close to home plate. So it makes this place so great for those sitting behind here at Wrigley. 1 ball, 2 strikes, bases loaded, 2 out, 3 runs are home. Rizzo takes ball 2. A long bottom of the second. To the shortstop, Descalso. Thought about second, goes to first to end the inning. A 3-run second for Chicago. A frustrating inning for the Cardinal right-hander Lance Lynn on a beautiful Saturday night in Chicago. 3-1 Cubs after 2. Back after this from your local Fox station. The MLB All-Star Game, Tuesday on Fox.
This summer, she needed to get away.
I'm not even your blood type.
And get away in a hurry. In a Ford Focus.
Who's that? It's my ex-boyfriend.
Great mileage.
Oh, she'll love you.
Wicked handling.
How do we lose this guy? Whoa, Caroline, wait. We'll just drive till the sun comes out.
Now, during the Ford Summer Spectacular, get a blockbuster deal. A Focus with 0% financing plus $1,500 bonus cash. Or choose $2,000 bonus cash. Now playing at a Ford dealer near you.
Enhance your home with flags without the fuss, noise, and bother of a conventional flagpole. The revolutionary telescoping flagpole, now available at Regalia, 2018 4th Avenue, Rock Island.
Dodge high fares and play dodgeball for charity. The Quad City International Airport and Allegiant are putting on a dodgeball tournament to benefit 3 local charities. Go to qcairport.com/dodgeball for team rules and registration. And Dodge high fares with Allegiant and the Quad City International Airport.
A full hour of 2.5 Men. Weekdays at 5 on Fox 18. Summer's here, and that means yard sales. Your Fox 18 presents the Yard Sale Tracker. It's free. It's easy. It's at KLJB.com. Putting together a yard sale and want to get the word out? Our Yard Sale Tracker's here for you. Looking to go yard sailing this weekend but not sure where to go? Map out your day using our Yard Sale Tracker. It's 100% user-generated, so log on to KLJB.com today and get yard sailing. Brought to you by your Fox 18.
TMZ, we love Hollywood. We just have a funny way of showing it.
Baseball Night in America is presented by Taco Bell. Chevrolet is the official vehicle of Major League Baseball, and they're celebrating a new season for new memories. For your chance to win a community field makeover and an all-new 2014 Impala, visit ChevyBaseball.com. Rarely have we done a game where we have as much time as we have after these half innings. Garza is taking time in the dugout before he goes out to warm up and takes this tremendous leap over the third base foul line. Now he's about set to go. Mentioned it standing room only here at Wrigley Field. Maybe because there's so many scouts in attendance here, they took up all the seats.
There are a lot of them here.
There are some of them, and they get good seats, and why not? If you're the Cubs, there's Cardinals general manager John Mozeliak right in the middle there. If you're the Cubs, give the scouts the best seat in the house to try and see if they like tonight's starter Matt Garza. But rarely have we seen a pitcher take this kind of time at the start of an inning.
Yeah, it's weird.
Before pitches. Here is a strike to Matt Carpenter. Cardinals got a run in the second, driven in by Tony Cruz. St. Louis has the top of the lineup here in the third inning. Carpenter, Descalso, and Beltran. That's down and in. Ashley Sheffer is celebrating her 19th birthday today, and big Cubs fan watching in the area. This place is jammed. We'll find out what scouts are here as that hits the outside corner for strike 2 to Carpenter. Grounded out his first time up. Cubs left the bases loaded in the bottom of the second. And here is a 1-2 pitch to Carpenter. It's just inside, 2-2.
So far, Matt Garza is showing, as he has, a very, very good arm. 94, 95 miles an hour. Moving his fastball from one side of the plate to the other. No breaking balls to this point.
Former 25th overall pick by the Twins back in 2005. As the count's gone full, then traded to Tampa Bay was Garza in late 2007. Was with the Rays in 2008. 11-9 on a team that lost in the World Series to the Phillies. Traded to the Cubs in January of 2011. Here's his 3-2. It's upstairs and a leadoff walk. So we saw some of the scouts. Ken Rosenthal has been busy digging into the pass list of the Chicago Cubs to see exactly which scouts are here. Who's represented here tonight, Kenny?
Joe, the crowd is actually not quite as large as I expected. Texas has 2 scouts here. Detroit, Baltimore, Toronto, and Pittsburgh also represented. Now keep in mind, not all of these scouts are necessarily here to see Garza. The Cubs have so many players available that different scouts could be looking at different players. Nate Scherholtz not in the lineup today. He's someone that teams are looking at, and there's some of the guys right there. Kevin Gregg, the closer, he is going to go. Alfonso Soriano could go. James Russell will be harder to get simply because he has a couple of years of control remaining, will come at a higher cost. But again, this is a high number of players who are available, and scouts are looking at virtually all of them.
Here's Rizzo trying to get the lead man, and a good dig out of the dirt by Castro. 1 out. Aggressive play by Anthony Rizzo, and he was saved by Castro at second base.
This is a very tough play by Starlin Castro, but a good one. Rizzo really taking a chance with a 2-run lead. Castro picking it. Keep in mind that the old trading deadline until 1986 used to be June 15th, and now it's July 31st.
Well, these Cubs have already traded Scott Feldman, a right-hander, to the Orioles. There's a strike on the outside part to Beltran. They traded Scott Hairston this last Sunday to Washington. Carlos Marmol is now with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Steve Clevenger, a catcher, is gone as well, and Moore figured to follow those guys out the door here with the Cubs. 1 ball, 1 strike on Beltran, who has committed an error in this game, and he's 0 for 1.
Most famous debacle as a trade by the Chicago Cubs, June 14th, 1964, when Lou Brock came to the Cardinals. And then he won the stolen base crown 8 years on his way to the Hall of Fame. And the Cardinals would not have won all those years without Lou Brock. One of the worst trades in the history of not only the Cubs, but any team.
Garza has got a weird demeanor about him in this game.
Well, you know, we talked about that. That was our first point with the scouting report tonight about throwing to first base. He has a very difficult time just throwing to first base. I'm surprised he stepped off and threw over there.
And now he changes it up and fires one over in the direction of Descalso.
Well, that's what some pitchers are so used to, firing the ball home, and when they throw to first, they lollygag it over there. Strange.
1 on, 1 out, 2 balls and a strike. Beltran takes inside, 3-1.
Don't think the scouts didn't notice that throw to first either.
Well, you talked to Mike Matheny, the Cardinal manager, about it before tonight's game with regard to bunts or taking advantage of that.
He said, we are aware of it.
Here's a 3-1. Beltran Fouls it left side, out of play, a full count. Carlos has hit 19 home runs. That total good for 5th in the league. And he is in year 2 of a 2-year, $26 million deal. Cardinals' top prospect is an outfielder, Oscar Taveras. And it seemed like good timing and a good deal when he signed Beltran with the Cardinals, and it would be about the time that Taveras was ready, but they may want to bring him back. Carlos hops out of there. One on, one out, 3-2 count. A strikeout and a throwout to end the inning. And a nice job by Deoner Navarro.
And how about the play again by Starlin Castro? The slider swing and a miss, and another fine play by Castro. Responsible for 2 outs in that inning.
The double play ends it. Into the bottom of the 3rd inning we go. Cubs coming up, leading by 2.
The all-new 2014 Lexus IS. This is your move.
Police officer!
Officer Walker, I have some bad news for you.
I'm dead.
We'd like you to join the Rest in Peace Department.
Come on, rookie.
When the afterlife comes after us, the RIPD is there to protect us.
You ready? Let's do this. I've never seen that before. Right! You can back this one.
No, I'm not going near that. RIPD, rated PG-13.
One hot and ready pizza, $5.
Get a large hot and ready pepperoni pizza for $5, or come in and try our new deep dish pizza for just $8. It has more cheese, more pepperoni, and 8 crispy caramelized cheese crust corner slices in every box. It's hot and ready every day from 4 to 8 p.m. and just $8 for a large, only at Little Caesars.
Pizza. Take care of your engine and it'll go far. One way I take care of my engine is with 1-A Men's, a complete multivitamin with nutrients to help support heart health. Compared to Centrum Men's, it has more vitamin D, helps support healthy blood pressure.
1-A Men's.
I play for the team.
I play for the fans.
I play to be a part of All-Star history.
I play for the National League.
For the American League. I play to win. We will win.
The road to October starts here.
Tuesday on Fox. Go to MLBFanCave.com and pledge your NL or AL allegiance. Don't miss the action of the upcoming All-Star game this Tuesday, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, here on Fox. Ron Santo statue outside. We saw the Ernie Banks statue earlier. And as we play in the bottom of the 3rd inning, the Cubs lead it 3-1. See how Lynn settles down. Here's a shot into center at the wall. Soriano's got another. Absolutely red hot with a double, a home run. Career home run number 388. And it's 4-1 Chicago here in the 3rd.
Tremendously strong with that life strength. Almost one-hands that ball. Remember, that's against the wind.
So the first pitch of the bottom of the 3rd inning is driven out of the park by Soriano. And Ken talked about how it's kind of mysterious that Soriano is not more prominently mentioned in the trade rumors, and he may just force his way into those conversations the way he's been hitting the ball. 1 ball, 1 strike on Navarro.
Very good point.
He's now got 9 home runs over his last 15 games, 19 RBIs, and in this game tonight, a double and a home run. Here's a 1-1. On the inside corner, strike 2. The 1-2 pitch is outside, 2-2. The Cubs won 2 of 3 from Pittsburgh, beat the White Sox in a makeup game on Monday, split a 2-game set with the Angels, and trying to win 2 of the first 3 against the Cardinals. Here's a line drive caught by Freese, 1 out. We will give you our Just for Men Auto Stop foolproof stat, and it's Alfonso Soriano since the 28th of June. His team is 8-6. He's now got 9 home runs, 19 RBIs, and his average is just under 370. Ken mentioned the knee injury that he was playing through last year, and he just looks like a healthier ball player than really at any point last season as Bogusevic fouls one out of play left side.
Our producer Pete Machesko was walking through the clubhouse, and I had told Soriano that we were going to show that shot off Schilling in 2001, Game 7 of the World Series. He said, would you mind very politely, would you mind sending me a copy of that? And Pete promised him, so now I made it public, so the heat's on Pete.
2 quick strikes on Bogusevic.
But he will get that clip. He said, I haven't seen that in a long, long time. But obviously very proud of that home run off Schilling.
Here's one inside, a ball and 2 strikes. He went to Texas. Now he's been in Chicago. He's got a 1.5 years left on an 8-year deal. That 2001 World Series must seem like a lifetime ago to him.
Yeah.
Does to me. With 1 out, nobody on, that's inside, 2-2. Cubs have a 3-run lead for Matt Garza, who is 4-0 with an ERA under 1 over his last 5 starts. Here's a 2-2 pitch. That is outside, a full count. Lance Lynn's 3-2 pitch on the way, and a ground ball back to Lynn. Nice play. 2 out. Ken Rosenthal, it's not so easy, though, to just trade away Alfonso Soriano. He has some say in the matter.
He does, Joe, and he is a player with 10 years of service, 5 consecutively with the same team, so he could reject any deal, and he actually did reject one last summer to the San Francisco Giants. But it's a year later. He is still owed a little bit less than $8 million this year, $18 million next year, but the Cubs are willing to assume a significant chunk of that. And while Soriano is comfortable here, he told me that depending on the city and the team, he would consider a trade.
And he also said during the week, he was quoted as saying, you know, I'm not going to stay in a place where they don't want me. And it wasn't said in any way other than if they want to get rid of me and it's to a place where I don't mind going, I'll go. And I would imagine with the way, Tim, he's going, there are a lot of teams that are going to start looking really closely.
I think so. Dale Swain saying, and not saying it from a patronizing standpoint, but saying that Soriano's among the top 5 players he's ever been around from a work ethic standpoint and from a guy who really is intelligent on the field and goes about his job very professional.
Well, he would be just the 5th major league player in MLB history to get to the 400 home run, 300 stolen base plateau. And that seems just like a matter of time as pitch Number 4 of the at-bat is on the outside corner, and Sapelt is gone to end the inning. An inning that started with that from Soriano. His 16th of the season. 4-1 Cubs after 3 at Wrigley.
Oh, buddy.
AT&T introduces the Samsung Galaxy S4 Active. A puddle-proof, celebration-proof, kitchen-proof, surprise-proof, prank-proof smartphone.
Hello?
Everything you love about the Galaxy S4, only it's whatever-proof, exclusively at AT&T.
Summer barbecue is back at Burger King with the Memphis Barbecue Pulled Pork Sandwich. Delicious tender pulled pork with hickory smoked barbecue sauce. And right now, enjoy the Memphis Barbecue Pulled Pork Combo Meal with small fries and a drink for just $4.99. Burger King, where taste is king.
You Jackie Robinson? I'm just a ball player. You a hero.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here.
42. Own the Blu-ray Combo Pack Tuesday.
Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. And let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words,
Classic is back. The all-new Chevrolet Impala. Chevrolet, find new roads.
I'm the kind of guy who doesn't like being sold to. The last thing I want is to feel like someone is giving me a sales pitch, especially when it comes to my investments. You want a broker you can trust. A lot of guys at the other firms seem more focused on selling than their clients. That's why I stopped working at my old brokerage and became a financial consultant with Charles Schwab.
What kind of financial consultant are you looking for? Talk to us today.
Tonight's telecast presented by Taco Bell, sponsored by the makers of One A Day Men's, the official multivitamin of MLB, and by Chevrolet, find new roads. Dale Swaim, the manager of the Chicago Cubs, is with us. And Dale, we've talked up here a lot about how it seems like your ball club is really turning things around. You got to be standing down there awfully proud of the way your guys are playing right now.
Well, yeah, I am. You know, we played really well over the last probably 6 weeks. A few games over 500. You know, Sori's been really hot lately. Obviously, you guys can see that tonight. But you know, we're just getting key contributions. But you know, the bottom line is our starting pitching has been really good for a long time.
Yeah, and your guy tonight looks like he's brought his good stuff. He's taking his own sweet time, but he has brought his good stuff here tonight.
Yeah, he can be a little deliberate, but you know, he's been really good for about 5 or 6 starts now, and obviously got some good command and doing a good job tonight as well.
Dale, thanks for your time.
All right, guys.
Dale Swaim in his 2nd year as manager of the Cubs. Well respected in that clubhouse as Alan Craig grounds one sharply to third. Valbuena makes the play without an issue, 1 out. I like the selection of Dale Swaim as the manager of this team. He brings about him and with him kind of a grit to this club that it seemed to lack in previous years.
I think it was a grit that I didn't know existed with Dale, but there were a lot of people that did. He almost had the Boston job, in fact.
Here's Matt Adams.
Dale Swaim, formerly a coach with the Milwaukee Brewers. He was a coach with the Red Sox and Terry Francona. Good man.
Adams took a ball. Matt got the first base hit of the night, floated one into left field, and then scored the first run driven in by Tony Cruz, the Cardinal catcher, as the count's gone to 2-0. So he is 1 for 1, adding to that .309 average. Got a game break coming up as we approach the All-Star break, and plenty for us to talk to. You see a Ranger Tiger update coming. Here's a fly ball into shallow center. Late break by Bogusevic, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. Neither one hard hit, but Matt Adams is 2 for 2. And let's go to Matt at the MLB Network studios for a game break.
Joe, likely AL All-Star starter Max Scherzer looking to become the 4th pitcher since 1920 to go 14-0, top of the 4th, and Mitch Moreland gets him for a 2-run shot. How tough are the Tigers on Max Scherzer nights? This is the first time they've trailed by 3 when he started. Joe and Tim, back to you guys.
Yeah, he's got the 13-0 record. He's also had a ton of run support. Starters not named pitching-wise for the upcoming All-Star game. He is certainly in line for that. As you look at his numbers for the first-place Tigers, 13-0, good ERA, a lot of strikeouts. Trying to go to 14-0 tonight. His team's going to have to come back. 1 ball, 1 strike on David Freese. Freese fly to center his first time up.
Well, if there's a team that can come back, it's the Detroit Tigers. What a lineup. With that guy batting third.
He's got 95 RBIs.
Oh, unbelievable.
Miguel Cabrera.
30 home runs, 95 RBIs already.
Hitting .367. So the guy that won the Triple Crown a year ago is leading in every category except home runs. And that's because Chris Davis of the Orioles is leading the way with 36. Had one today in an Oriole loss. Here's a 1-2. Freese just spoils it. Chris Davis, meanwhile, has 89 RBIs, so he's got another day to get to 90 or more RBIs. You could have 2 guys with 30/90 plus at the break. Here's a 1-2, fouled away again. Here are the numbers for Chris Davis for the Orioles, currently in 3rd place in the AL East. In case you haven't been watching the Tampa Bay Rays, they've been hot. They've won 8 of their last 10 at the start of the day, and they've jumped into 2nd in the AL East. That's too far inside. 2-2. Freese had a rough April. Started the season on the DL with a bad back. Then picked it up in May and June, but July, it's been a rough start to this month. Here's a 2-2. That's into the gap in right center field. This ball's going to get down and go to the wall. Matt Adams will dig around second, make it to third on a double by Freese. Second and third, 1 out.
Joe, you mentioned the grit of Dale Swaim. What about the grit of David Freese in this at bat? He finally got a pitch out over the plate. Those Cardinal right-handers love the ball out over the plate. They don't like to be pitched inside. So Freese with a double, and the Cardinals with another scoring opportunity.
It's into the lap of John Jay, who singled into center his first time up. You've got Jay up now. Tony Cruz, the number 8 hitter, on deck, and then the pitcher's spot. St. Louis trailing by 3. Jay singled his first time up. He takes a strike over the inside corner. This is a big at bat for obvious reasons, and then maybe the not so obvious. If Jay can't produce something here, first base is open with a pitcher to follow. 1 out already in the inning. Fly ball into center. Matt Adams will tag. Bogusevic will throw it in. Second and third, 2 out. And the former left-handed pitcher, Brian Bogusevic, just showed you his best fastball back into the infield.
Pretty good arm, hitting the cutoff man, and not deep enough to score Matt Adams. 3 runs down. The Cardinals can't take a chance.
So now Tony Cruz, but first base is open. Nobody in the Cardinal bullpen, and the pitcher next. And no surprise, the intentional walk is coming to Cruz. RBI single his first time up.
This could be interesting because Garza's got to throw those little lollipops. And if he has a tough time throwing to first, see, he's throwing it harder than he normally would on purpose. Because if he lets up, he's wild with it.
Well, baseball history has certain guys that you can name over the course of time that have had a tough time with something that should come just so naturally to somebody at this level. You think about Mackey Sasser, a former catcher with the New York Mets, even for the Cardinals, Rick Ankiel. Chuck Knobloch, another guy.
Knobloch, yeah.
Steve Sachs.
Yep.
With the Dodgers, just routine throws that are anything but routine. So that loads him up, and it's now up to Lance Lynn with the bases loaded, 2 out. Cardinals have a long reliever in Carlos Martinez. If Mike Matheny wanted to go that direction and get him up with this at bat looming for Lynn, but he sticks with his starting pitcher, and Lance Lynn, who fly to center his first time, is 3 for 28 at the plate this season. Should end the inning. Darwin Barney into his right, and the inning is over. The Cardinals now have left 5. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Wrigley. Cubs leading it 4-1.
This summer,
you're gonna need this.
Thrilling adventure, heroic performance. The Ford Summer Spectacular Sales Event, featuring blockbuster deals.
He's the best chance we got.
Now, during the Ford Summer Spectacular, get a blockbuster deal with $1,000 matching down bonus cash. Now playing at a Ford dealer near you.
The little rascal is finally asleep.
Good job.
Thank you. So it's Friday night. You wanna do something?
Like what?
We could watch a movie, or you could just text message your friends for the rest of the night.
I'm not texting.
What are you doing?
Just figuring out our Friday night. I'll go get the popcorn.
Thank you. I love you.
Control your TV and get personalized show recommendations with Watch On the Samsung Galaxy S4.
I was learned in Djibouti, Africa, 2004.
Vietnam in 1972.
Fort Benning, Georgia in 1999.
USAA auto insurance is often handed down from generation to generation because it offers a superior level of protection and because USAA's commitment to serve military members, veterans, and their families is without equal. Begin your legacy. Get an auto insurance quote. USAA. We know what it means to serve.
I've been around long enough to recognize the people who are out there owning it. The ones getting involved and staying engaged. They're not afraid to question the path they're on. Because the one question they never want to ask is, how did I end up here? I started Schwab for those people. People who want to take ownership of their investments like they do in every other aspect of their lives.
Delight in each delicious moment with McCafe. Every irresistible smoothie and delectable frappe is a break from the ordinary, and it all starts with a sip. There's something for everyone to love from McCafe.
Baseball's biggest stars, celebrities, and fans all go to the MLB Fan Cave to check out all the fun. Go to MLBFanCave.com to see all the great Fan Cave videos as well. We move into the bottom of the 4th inning. Cubs coming up. It'll be Darwin Barney, Matt Garza, and Luis Valbuena for Chicago, leading by 3. One more game to go, and for these two teams, they get the honor of playing on Sunday night, which is good. And then for a team like the Cardinals sending 5 guys to the All-Star game, it makes the travel a little tougher getting to New York after the ball game at Wrigley tomorrow night. Barney reached on an error, and he did so on catcher's interference back in that 3-run second, and that foul ball is strike one. Tony Cruz was guilty of that. So that went as an error on Cruz, his first of the season. And in that inning, an unearned run scored against Lance Lynn, the first unearned run he's allowed this season. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Hard hit, base hit through the left side, and Barney is on for the second time in this game.
So for those of you who may not know that rule, even though it's an error on the catcher, there is no official at bat charged to Barney. So Barney, on base with the catcher's interference and a base hit, is now 1 for 1 on the night.
And here's Garza. He was up there to bunt back in the second, and he bunted one over the head of Lance Lynn unintentionally. It went for a base hit. He's up there most likely to bunt yet again. And he pops up another.
Try the same area.
This one had a little more hang time to it, and Matt Adams is there for out number 1.
A little more toward first, and Matt Adams charging made the play easily.
So Garza does not advance the runner. Barney stays at first, 1 out, and Luis Valbuena, who struck out with the bases loaded back in the second prior to an infield base hit by Starlin Castro, 0 for 2, stands in. Off the hands and backing out of play, strike one. That's Darwin Barney over at first base, who is trying to shield his eyes from the sun as he looks over at David Bell, his third base coach. And at the moment trying to read Lance Lynn. Here's a high fly ball into right, back at the wall. It is into the basket, a home run, a 2-run shot for Valbuena. And Matt Garza has a bigger lead. It's 6-1 here in the fourth.
Those baskets were inserted on the base of the stands, I think 1969 or 70. I remember Ferguson Jenkins, who was a Hall of Fame right-hander for the Cubs, was very upset about that, because he said, you know, with the wind blowing in, you get the fly ball, and guys could make a play like that. Well, just out of the reach of the right fielder.
And now this one off David Freese into left center, and Starlin Castro is going to end up at second base. Hustling out of the box, and he's there with 1 out.
Those balls hit by Cubs are finding some weird holes where no Cardinal defenders are. But you're right about Castro exploding out of the box, and his hustle allows him to take the extra base.
It's an error on David Freese. That's his 4th of the season, and the 3rd tonight committed by the Cardinals. And this is the worst of all possibilities for Mike Matheny, the Cardinal manager, because he had an opportunity to use a pinch hitter in the top of this inning with the bases loaded, elected to stay with Lance Lynn. Lynn has given up a home run. Now Carlos Martinez is getting ready anyway. And that scoring chance for the Cardinals ended on a weak ground ball hit by Lynn to the second baseman in the top of this inning. Carlos Martinez is a prize in this Cardinal organization. Just 21 years old, came up on Thursday. The 3 errors, a season high for the Cardinals, and we're only in the 4th. 2-0 now, the count on Rizzo. Now right-hander Keith Butler gets loose for the Cardinals in their pen. That's a strike. And the count 2-1. It's Rizzo now. It's Soriano on deck. Here's a 2-1. 3 balls and a strike. Lance Lynn, a winner his last time out, but had struggled into that start. It had been one bad inning, seemingly the 5 previous starts. He has not been helped out much tonight, but has also allowed 2 home runs, and now his first walk of the night, and it's first and second, only 1 out here in the 4th inning.
Lance, not a thought about pitching around Rizzo, even though Anthony has good power with 13 home runs, but not as hot as Soriano's been.
So here he is, Alfonso Soriano, with a double, a home run, 2 runs scored. And he is going to get to face Lance Lynn for the 3rd time tonight. Faced him in the 2nd, the 3rd, now here in the 4th. Ball 1. Left side might be 2. A double clutch by Freese, but they still turn it. 5-4-3, and Soriano's retired for the first time tonight. 2 more runs and a shot by Valbuena. 6-1 Cubs after 4.
You've reached the age where giving up isn't who you are. This is the age of knowing how to make things happen. So why let erectile dysfunction get in your way? Talk to your doctor about Viagra. 20 million men already have. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain. It may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing. This is the age of taking action. Viagra. Talk to your doctor.
Out here, we're big fans of summer and even bigger fans of beer. So we brewed Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy. It's crisp, refreshing beer brewed with the natural flavor of lemonade that's pretty much everything you love about summer in a bottle. We're the Leinenkugels from Chippewa Falls. For 6 generations, our family's been brewing lots of great beers. But this one says summer. So grab a Summer Shandy and join us out here.
You really couldn't come at a better time. These Chevys are moving fast.
I'll take that Malibu.
Yeah, excuse me. Your Equinox and Atlantis Blue is mine.
I was here first. It's mine.
I called about that one. It's mine.
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 Actually,
it's mine.
No, it's not. It's mine.
Better get going. It's Chevy Model Year End event.
The Chevy Model Year End event. The 13s are going fast. Time to get yours. Current Chevy truck owners can trade up to this Chevy Silverado All-Star Edition with a total value of $9,000.
One hot and ready pizza, $5.
Get a large hot and ready pepperoni pizza for $5, or come in and try our new deep dish pizza for just $8. It has more cheese, more pepperoni, and 8 crispy caramelized cheese crust corner slices in every box. It's hot and ready every day from 4 to 8 p.m. and just $8 for a large, only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
You are listening to Pearl Jam's new single, Mind Your Manners. Pearl Jam will be playing here at Wrigley this Friday. The new album Lightning Bolt will be available October 15th. And they are on a North American tour this fall. And there isn't a bigger Cubs fan than Eddie Vedder anywhere you travel. And I know for a fact he keeps gloves and baseballs in a traveling case, and before they do shows in different arenas, he's out throwing the baseball around with guys with his crew. But they are legit baseball fans, and I think he's sung "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" about 6 times or so here at Wrigley Field.
PJ
Pearl Jam Friday at Wrigley Field. That's going to be something. Here's Matt Carpenter. He takes a strike. I just have to ask you your favorite Pearl Jam song, because I just want to see the caricature pop up that's on the graphic.
Mind Your Manners. That's their new release.
That's right.
That's hot.
There you go. Yellow Ledbetter release. Mind Your Manners for the tuxedoed Tim McCarver.
I try to stay away from any song named Release.
1 ball, 1 strike, says the ex-baseball player. A ground ball to second. Darwin Barney gathers it in and throws out Carpenter's 0 for 2.
There we go. Mind Your Manners.
A little harder edge. Ooh. Eddie sounds angry. Their documentary, by the way, you're a big movie guy. 20, phenomenal.
I missed that one.
1 out, nobody on for Descalso. He takes inside, ball 1. Daniel is 0 for 2. He's grounded out. Did so back in the first to the first baseman, then reached on a force out and was out stealing on a strikeout with Beltran at the plate to end the top of the 3rd. That's back to the screen, a ball and a strike.
That's a pitch to hit right there. When you're down by 5 runs, I know this sounds strange, but it's easier to hit because a lot of the pitches that you get are predictable. There's no way a guy like Garza, who's an experienced guy, is going to pitch around you or like he would perhaps in a tie game, 1 or 2 run game.
Right side for Rizzo. Feeds Garza, going to the bag, 2 out. Well, if you are Jed Hoyer, the young executive vice president, GM of the Cubs, or Theo Epstein, who is the president of baseball operations, you are watching tonight's game and you've seen Soriano hit a double and a home run. You've seen Matt Garza do what he's been doing over his last 5 starts. You're looking at opportunity here knocking, and I'm sure the Cubs front office has their scouts scouring the minor leagues looking for talent from some contender.
Now they've got about 3 weeks with which to do it. Trading deadline, of course, July 31st.
Beltran takes a strike. Beltran, a career .349 hitter here at Wrigley Field. The 8-time All-Star is 0 for 2. He's fly to center, struck out. Pitch up and in, a ball and a strike. Here's a 1-1 from Garza. Down and in, 2-1. Cardinals and Cubs have split the last 28 games they've played here. Cubs winners on Thursday. Cardinals won yesterday. Cubs having the majority of the fun tonight. They have scored 6 unanswered runs. Here's a 2-1. That's down the line, 2-2. Since 2010, they're at 14 wins on each side. Swaim has only been in charge since last year. Same for Matheny. Here's a 2-2. Just inside a full count. Mike Quaddy preceded Dale Swaim, and of course Tony La Russa preceded Mike Matheny, and pretty good tailing action on that pitch from Garza. Did not get the call, so a full count. And Beltran with a floating base hit into left. 1 for 3 on the night, and that will bring to the plate Alan Craig here in the 5th. There are the numbers for Allen. Craig, who was rewarded for his good run production during the spring with a $31 million extension. Great production for the Cardinals out of Craig and Beltran. In essence, the two guys that have picked up the offensive slack after the departure of Albert Pujols to Anaheim. Ball 1 high.
We talked about the Cardinal right-handed batters not liking that ball inside. The guy that really showed the country that you can pitch him inside was Ryan Vogelsong of the Giants last year. To give you an idea, pitching 2 great games, I mean great games, against a very good hitting team, but crowding those right-handed hitters all night. We'll try to give you a sample.
Garza pulled the string here as we flash back to last NLCS. The guy at the plate now, Alan Craig, that was David Freese. Those right-handed batters were worked in and hard by Vogelsong.
It was a clinic. I mean, pinpoint accuracy right in on the hands. A lot to learn from that series.
The 1-1 just outside.
Slider missed.
Craig digs his way back in. His average was 3rd best in the league at the start of the day at .328. He's grounded out twice. The 2-1 smashed foul outside third. 2-2. And Jose Oquendo, who is pushed back way out of that coaching box down the third baseline, got out of the way as the count went even. 2-2. Where would you stand with this guy at the plate?
Farther back.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Reaching for it, and Castro makes the play to end the inning. Craig 0 for 3 on the night, halfway through it on a beautiful night in Chicago. More Pearl Jam. 6-1. Cubs on top.
How does an HTC One smartphone rate with our blue shirt? We asked Stephanie to beta test one.
It's got some really cool new features, like Blink Feed, where I can see everything I care about on one screen. HTC Zoe is pretty amazing. My favorite part is taking a bunch of photos and video and combining them into one image. Check it out. The sound on this thing, booming. This is bad news for my old phone.
Beta tested, blue shirt approved. Get your HTC One on Sprint now for $99.99 and save even more when you trade in any working phone. Only at Best Buy.
The authentic taste of a strawberry margarita is here, without all the hassle. Bud Light Lime Strawberita is perfectly mixed with a refreshing twist of Bud Light Lime. You just pop, pour over ice, and enjoy. Also try Limerita.
You make a great team. It's been that way since the day you met. But your erectile dysfunction, it could be a question of blood flow. Cialis Tadalafil for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment's right. You can be more confident in your ability to be ready. And the same Cialis is the only daily ED tablet approved to treat ED and symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently or urgently.
Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medications and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or if you have any allergic reactions such as rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a 30-tablet free trial.
Summer barbecue is back at Burger King with the Memphis Barbecue Pulled Pork Sandwich. Delicious tender pulled pork with hickory smoked barbecue sauce. And right now, enjoy the Memphis Barbecue Pulled Pork Combo Meal with small fries and a drink for just $4.99. Burger King, where taste is king.
Taste of Chicago in town this week in this great city, Chicago, Illinois. And Wrigley Field, home of the Chicago Cubs. Glad you're with us on a Saturday night, baseball night in America. Cubs having fun, leading 6-1. And Deoner Navarro is first up against Lance Lynn, who's trying to get through 5.
Saturday in the park. Thought it was the 4th of July.
Here's a 1-0. Ground ball right side for Carpenter. 1 out. And we welcome you inside our broadcast booth. So right now the Cardinals are game up in the NL Central, and the Cubs continue to impress, Tim, as they have over the last couple of weeks.
I was just checking the scoreboard out. The Mets are over the Pirates 2-0 after 4.5. That's a big game. But the Cardinals cannot shake the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are a very, very good ball club.
They've got pitching. They've got a good lineup. We'll see Pedro Alvarez in the All-Star game on Tuesday night, and he has been a late addition to the home run hitting contest, which happens on Monday night. Here's a foul backing out of play off the bat of Bogusevic. And since you looked up at that scoreboard, it evidently has changed to 2-1. Pittsburgh is on the board. Mets still on top. Here's one to the right of Carpenter. Diving stop, but no play. And Bogusevic is on with 1 out here in the 5th. His first hit of the night.
Nice play by Carpenter to come up with it. Well, that's a play that can damage a left hand. That thing curling under there. We've seen so many wrist sprains, hamate bone problems with guys who have that wrist curl up under their body, but Matt appears to be all right.
Third infield hit for the Cubs in this game. And it's 1 on 1 out for Sapelt. Here's a fly ball down the right field line toward the bullpen and out of play. Strike 1.
Also a guy who earned an all-star spot, Jason Grilli, with 28 saves this year. He had 5 career saves coming into this year. 5.
The Cardinals really didn't take off until they found a closer in Mujica. And the Pirates proving that I don't think you can find consistent success without a closer in this game today. Here's a base hit through the left side. Sapelt is on, and it's 2 on 1 out here in the 5th inning. Tonight's telecast, presented by Taco Bell, is sponsored by Universal Pictures' new film R.I.P.D. in theaters Friday. And that is going to be it for Lance Lynn, and this is a start sure he will be happy to put behind him. And he may have to think about it for a while with the All-Star break coming up. Butler is coming in, 2 on 1 out. Lynn is pulled here in the 5th inning. Darwin Barney coming up when we come back.
You can choose to blend in. Or you can choose to blend out. all-new 2014 Lexus IS. It's your move.
Hey, sorry, I was just checking out your phone. That's the Galaxy S4, right?
Yeah, I just got it.
Did your video just pause on its own?
Yeah, it does it every time you look away from the screen.
And that's a big screen, too.
5 inches, HD.
Is that phone that you answer by waving your hand over it?
Yeah.
Is it? Am I doing it right?
Someone has to call you first.
Well, give me your number. I'll call you.
Yeah. Give me your number.
Come on.
Introducing the Samsung Galaxy S4. The next big thing is here.
So I told my team at Taco Bell I want to make a double steak quesadilla. I said, give me some real pepper jack cheese and give me double the marinated steak, or else, why bother? I told them that you will love it, so will you, and all of you. They did seem a little nervous. Probably because I doubled the steak.
The new Taco Bell Cantina Double Steak Quesadilla. Loaded with double the marinated steak and real pepper jack cheese. Double the steak, double the gourmet.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
It has been since the 3rd of July for Keith Butler to make an appearance. One of the new young arms in that Cardinal bullpen. 2 on, 1 out. And a good breaking ball has Barney frozen at the plate. Strike 1.
How about that? Hasn't pitched in 10 days and threads the corner with a good curveball to start off Barney.
Lance Lynn giving up a career high 10 hits in just 4 1/3 innings. 3 infield hits. Defense did not help him out. Another breaking ball from Butler. And the count 0-2. A season high 2 home runs as well. One hit by Soriano, the other by Valbuena. Lead runner is Bogusevic. Sapelt is on at first, and the 0-2 pitch. There's the fastball at 91 and misses outside, ball 1. This Cardinal bullpen has really been helped by some of the kids Tim talked about earlier. This guy, Keith Butler, Seth Maness, a right-hander, Kevin Segrist, a left-hander who finally gave up a run yesterday after going his first 12 appearances without allowing a run. Michael Blazek is another right-hander they just sent out, has good stuff. Here's a 1-2 outside, 2-2. Little different look for the Cardinal bullpen than at the start of the season with now at AAA. Here's a 2-2 outside. It was 0-2, now 3-2.
Mitchell Boggs traded this week by the Cardinals.
He ends up in Double-A in the Colorado Rockies organization. Lim thinking about his start tonight. Responsible for the 2 on as Butler brings home a 3-2. Runners go, and this one's hammered foul. Another 3-2 pitch, breaking ball, fouled back. And that's been Butler's Best pitch of the two he's featured so far. The fastballs have missed. Breaking balls have been good, and the runners were going again.
And that's one of the beauties of the Cardinal bullpen. It seems like all the young pitchers are different. Maness has a sinker. Butler has the breaking ball. Trevor Rosenthal can overpower you. Segrist gave up his first run last night in 13 appearances this year, a home run in the 8th inning. They're all different and they're all talented, and none were drafted above the 11th round. None.
Butler is ready with another 3-2 pitch. Runners are going again. A strikeout and no throw anywhere as the runners advance to second and third as Garza, the pitcher, comes to the plate. Barney could not figure out that Keith Butler curveball, and here is Garza, second and third, 2 out. Fastball misses, ball 1. The Cardinals have Carlos Martinez getting loose again. And you would have to believe that he'll be the long man tonight and get a little action after being recalled from AAA Memphis. He is worth watching. And now Garza hit by a pitch. Looked like a breaking ball. That'll load the bases, and if there ever was an unintentional hit batsman, a 72-mile-per-hour pitch hits the pitcher to load the bases, well, this would be it.
Yeah, that was not even close to being intentional. That's a breaking ball. The crowd overreacting, not only in the field, but on the rooftops across the street. Wrigleyville overreaction.
Here's Valbuena. 2-run home run his last time up. Strike 1. For Luis, his 8th home run gives him 29 RBIs. The Cubs during the week inked their top pick, 2nd overall, Chris Bryant, their third baseman of the future, to a $6.7 million bonus. Here's one down toward the end of the bat, shallow right, and Beltran is there to end the inning. Cubs now have stranded 7. We've played 5. Cubs leading 6-1.
Hey, Marie.
Hey, Rod.
How do you get your lawn to stay, I don't know, green?
Paint. I'm kidding. Follow me.
Rodman, how you doing? Hey, Jimmy.
First off, make sure you're not cutting the grass too short. It doesn't let the roots grow.
Okay.
Hot Rod, what's up?
Nicole.
We also need fertilizer with weed control during this time of year.
No, Rod, Father.
Hey, Tom.
I'm gonna grab you a spreader.
Hey, Rod. Stir.
He's new.
Oh.
Getting help at Ace is like going to your neighbor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Research suggests cell health plays a key role throughout our lives. One-A-Day Men's 50 Plus is a complete multivitamin designed for men's health concerns as we age. It has 7 antioxidants to support cell health. One-A-Day Men's 50 Plus.
Delight in each delicious moment with McCafe. Every irresistible smoothie and delectable frappe is a break from the ordinary, and it all starts with a sip. There's something for everyone to love from McCafe.
What's the biggest number you can think of?
A trillion, billion, zillion.
That's pretty big. How about you?
10.
Okay. How about you?
Infinity.
Can you top that?
Infinity in 1.
Actually, we are looking for infinity plus infinity. Sorry.
What about infinity times infinity? Oh.
It's not complicated. Bigger is better, and AT&T has the nation's largest 4G network.
So what's the plan? It's my favorite painting, and I want it back. So you in or out?
I'm in.
This is awesome. I got this.
It's her painting anyway.
Now, during the Ford Summer Spectacular, get a blockbuster deal and escape with $1,000 matching down bonus cash. Now playing at a Ford dealer near you.
Tonight's telecast presented by Taco Bell is sponsored by Ace, the helpful place, and by Ford and their spectacular summer sales event. Give you our Fox Sports 1 game summary presented by Fox Sports 1, America's new sports network, coming August 17th. Alfonso Soriano with a solo shot in the third inning. Luis Valbuena hit a 2-run home run in the fourth. The Cardinals 3 errors tonight, season high. And that did not give Lance Lynn much support. Sports' biggest event of the summer is heading to New York. And the events start on Monday with a home run derby on ESPN. Then on Tuesday, the Midsummer Classic kicks off with the red carpet show on MLB Network, followed by the All-Star Game at 7:30 Eastern right here on Fox. This is definitely an un-Cardinal-like night against the Cubs with 3 errors. A hit batsman. Catcher's interference is obviously listed twice. It goes down as an error, a passed ball. A couple of stolen bases allowed, and Matt Garza has outpitched Lance Lynn, who was just taken out of the ball game in the 5th. When you look at the pass ball, the error by the catcher on the catcher's interference, remember Yadier Molina on his 31st birthday has the night off as they try and limit his work. Matt Adams takes a ball. One of the real strong attributes of Mike Matheny is his ability to manage that man, Yadier Molina. Here's a 1-0. And I say that because Molina is one of those guys that just does not want to sit on the bench. Even his body language, and obviously it's a frustrating night for that entire team, but he wants to play. And if there's one manager that would have Molina's respect, it would be Matheny, who was the veteran catcher when Yadier Molina came to the big leagues.
You know how he's feeling. You know what he's thinking. And you know he understands you're resting him occasionally, even though he doesn't want it.
Adams strikes out, and the strong start for Garza continues. That's strikeout number 2. And out number 1 here in the 6th.
Good breaking ball out of the zone to Adams, who had flared to 1 to left, 1 to center. Garza gets him with the breaking ball.
With 1 out, here's Freese, who doubled his last time up. Strike 1. Freese fly to center in the 2nd, doubled into right center in the 4th. Hit 163 with no home runs in April, 310 during the months of May and June with all 5 of his home runs, and he started this game hitting just 222 with 2 RBIs in July. So he has been down then up, now trying to find it again. Waits for a 1-1 pitch. Left side, tough play. Diving stop, Valbuena. He got him for the out, 2 away.
Now Valbuena really sticking with that ball after he dropped it full extension off the end of the glove. Picked it up with his bare hand, strong throw to get Freese. Nicely done.
Took a hit away and turns in out number 2. Matt Garza's got to be happy to get that kind of support.